Now I know that they are going to be cozy, 3 intensities, 4 different modes, so adjusted to your liking. It comes in 2 different colors, black and gray, and it also comes with this great bag. So when you're done using it, you could put it away nicely. It's super compact, and you don't have to worry about it being an eyesore in the middle of your family room. This truly is something that I love. I know everyone in my family will love. And the deal is incredible right now. We are offering 35% off on the Air C Plus heat massager. Head to cbsdeals.com for this exclusive offer. I promise you will not regret it.
All right, it is 6:44 on your Saturday morning. Coming up after the break, a powerful gift to community unity from LA Kings legend Luc Robitaille. Our Jamie Maggio has that story next.
And a beloved ice skating rink in Westminster is closing its doors. Coming up, how the community is saying goodbye.
And don't forget to answer our question of the day: how are you celebrating Easter? We'll be right back. What a beautiful shot. It is probably raining, and it looks like it's snowing as well. Can't really tell exactly what's falling there, but
Oh yeah, it looks like some snow pieces. They
right?
look white. Mm-hmm.
Well, we know it's cold. How about that?
We do.
But still beautiful in my opinion. That is Lake Arrowhead. Good morning to our friends in Lake Arrowhead and all across Southern California. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning with us.
For almost 20 years, the nonprofit Echoes of Hope has been helping thousands of at-risk foster kids overcome the odds and reach their full potential.
Our Jamie Maggio has more on how the group is sparking hope and changing lives.
I think that there's no greater gift to yourself than to give yourself to another. And I know Luke has learned that. Just being married to me, it's as a couple, it's contagious.
Stacia Robitaille says it was soon after she began dating her now husband, LA Kings president and Hockey Hall of Famer Luc Robitaille, that she convinced him to work with kids.
So I looked at Luke after a couple years and I said, honey, I gotta follow through with my dream. So we started Echoes of Hope, and that was almost 20 years ago now.
The nonprofit helps at-risk and foster children reach their full potential by bringing a higher education within reach.
Instinctively think, you know, you're 18, you're on your own, you're an adult. A lot of the foster youth, they leave their homes with a trash bag or a backpack if they're lucky.
There are approximately 60,000 children in the state's foster care system, but the National Foster Youth Institute found that just 3 to 4% of former foster children obtain a 4-year degree. The Robitais are working to change that.
Well, I'll start with my Javon. So he was my first youth. I mean, he was in a chair, and he turned up and he looked at me, and we both just got the biggest smile. It was like, in 2 weeks, he was calling me mom.
It was just an instant connection, and it wasn't like I was getting connected to another organization. It was I was getting connected to love, to family, and to peers who wanted better for their life.
Javon Wilkes is the first foster person to go through the Echoes of Hope program.
When people take the time to show that they care and they're taking the time to invest in another person, how is that investment life-changing?
Well, when you're a young person that comes from the foster care system, when you've experienced homelessness like I have, there's an absence that you're born into. And when you feel it, it's definitely uncomfortable. But it's the greatest thing in the world when you know somebody cares about your well-being to thrive and not just survive.
An organization truly changing lives.
Yeah.
All right, it is 6:50 now, and still to come, saving the planet one stick at a time. A new way to tackle plastic pollution with something you could find stuck on the bottom of your shoe. We are taking a live look at Santa Monica on this Saturday morning, which looks like almost every shot we've taken. You can see it's kind of gray out there. We've got some raindrops on the camera. We are watching a storm this weekend. We'll have more on that in just a few. Welcome back to Kcal News this Saturday morning.
Scientists in Europe have found a new way to tackle plastic pollution, and you could find it stuck to the bottom of your shoe.
Kcal News reporter Ian Lee shows us how chewing gum could play a part in cutting down on plastic waste.
Bubblegum could help save the planet by popping our problem with single-use plastic. British scientists see it as part of the solution to the waste from billions of medical tests taken at home each year.
There's not only the COVID test, but also the pregnancy test, infectious disease. It's even used in veterinary medicine.
Researchers are creating prototypes of eco-friendly devices from not just recycled gum, but also old fridge parts and limestone. Once the plastic waste is gathered, it's broken down and turned into tiny pellets. From there, it's shaped and molded into tests.
We have the machinery, the skill sets, and all the knowledge that we need to be able to turn this into a mass-produced item.
Researchers say home tests meant to keep people healthy are harming the planet, producing about 18,000 tons of waste worldwide each year.
But those same devices are also contributing to a growing burden of plastic pollution globally that's ending up in our oceans, ending up in our soil, that is being burned and contributing to carbon emissions.
By using recycled materials, scientists believe they could cut the carbon footprint for production by up to 50%, creating a healthier you and a greener planet. And it all started with a stick of gum. Ian Lee, Kcal News.
Well, regulators in Europe have given researchers the green light to start trials on the eco-friendly tests.
That's right, 15 years of fun on the ice is about to melt away in Orange County. Westminster's ice skating rink is closing its doors for good.
The skating community has just one more day to practice jumps, spins, and moves at the rink's Westminster Ice. Skaters have heard different stories about why the location is closing. The rink is affiliated with the Anaheim Ducks Hockey Club. The building's owner says he hoped to extend the lease and was willing to lower the rent. Pickup hockey players tailgated Friday after their last game at the rinks.
It's very hard, very hard. Yeah, it's been a big part of our community, big part of our family. A lot of memories in this place.
There's about 120 of us, and you know what? We get together and we play, we enjoy ourselves, and it's a place where we come together.
Friends are gathering to say goodbye during the public skate. There will be one more opportunity today for the community to come together and celebrate their sport.
Well, parking at the Hollywood Bowl is a lot more crowded, but getting there will be a lot easier. The amphitheater is closing half the lots and replacing them with transportation hubs. Lots B and C are now exclusive to Park and Ride and shuttle services. Park and Ride has 15 time departure locations across LA County, while the shuttle has 4 closer to the bowl. Tickets for both services are about $15, but shuttle tickets are free with Metro or MetroLink tickets.
6:55 now. We have much more ahead on Kcal News at 7 on CBS and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. We'll be right back.
Presentamos la familia de SUVs Chevy. Haz más con tecnología.
is Kcal News Mornings.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, March 30th. Welcome to Kcal News at 7 on CBS, also streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. I'm Rachel Kim.
And I'm Sheba Turk. We want to start off with a check of your next weather. Meteorologist Alex Fiston joining us live in studio. And we are tracking a storm this morning. Many people already experiencing the effects of that, Alex.
Oh, we are. Absolutely. Yes. Good Saturday morning to you. It is going to be a wet weekend, already a wet weekend on tap across Southern California. Want to show you where the rain is right now. We still have that flash flood warning. So that is in effect for parts of the LA basin because of the heavier cells that we are picking up from Simi Valley to Calabasas along the 101 freeway. And of course, along the 5 too, as you make your way up into the Santa Clarita Valley. It is pouring from El Monte all the way across the 605 freeway into parts of Orange County. So we are seeing this band of rain move through, and it is heavy at times. Up in the mountains, it is about the snowfall this morning across Big Bear and Wrightwood. Meanwhile, as you make your way up the 15 into Victorville, it is about the steady but light rainfall there. Over the last 6 hours, we have picked up anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of rain, with those higher amounts for the foothill communities and into some parts of Ventura County. Today, it is going to be wet no matter which way you cut it, because we've got the steady rain this morning, showers this afternoon, and the wet weather is going to continue as we head into Easter Sunday, unfortunately. So we'll talk a little bit more about the exact timing of the system this weekend, when to expect those warmer temperatures too. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Alex. There is a lot going on in your world today.
Here are some of the major stories we're following. This storm bringing landslide and mudslide concerns. We are tracking closures near Topanga Canyon and Malibu.
And more concern in the Hollywood Hills. Several homes red tagged after a hill collapses. We're live with the details.
And people in the Inland Empire checking for problem spots in their homes as they prepare for major floods.
Well, all those slick roads are causing dangerous driving conditions for the San Fernando Valley all the way to Long Beach.
This terrifying crash was caught on camera. A car spun out on the 101 in Van Nuys around 2:30 this morning near the Woodman exit and ended up in the fast lane against the center divider. You can see the driver even turning on the blinkers, but another car drove right into that disabled car. Emergency crews showed up just a few moments later, and thankfully no one was seriously hurt.
And then another violent crash, this one in Long Beach. This gray car was entering the southbound 110 freeway when it spun out on the on-ramp and went down an embankment. Now, thankfully, the guardrail stopped it from ending up in the middle lanes, and no one was hurt.
Well, other parts of our area have been hit hard by landslides, and with this new round of rain, Caltrans is on watch for potential new problems.
Malibu Canyon Road is also closed ahead of the storm. The closure from PCH to Piuma Road started at 7 o'clock last night. It's expected to last until Monday morning.
Kcal News reporter Cara Finstrom live at another dangerous mudslide zone in Topanga Canyon. And Cara, what's going on right there?
Well, Rachel, the rain not coming down hard right now, but it has been nonstop. And the hillsides behind us up here along Topanga Canyon Boulevard, they are unstable. So any more water weight just raises big worries. This is as close as we can get to the troublesome stretch that has been sliding up there for a couple of weeks now. I want to give you a look at an aerial view that Kcal captured. Take a look at this. A geologist has been monitoring this area, which has been sliding. Folks have been diverting around it, and we're talking about an area between Pacific Coast Highway and Grandview. Portions of the road buried under rocks and dirt. Caltrans has found a huge crack in a hillside up there, and engineers fear that with more rain, that crack could widen. We've also got video from when the hillside first started coming down. It started on March 9th during heavy rain. This past Thursday, geologists said they sensed even more movement up there. So a Caltrans spokesperson tells us even their workers aren't able to go up there at this point to start tackling it. A woman who commutes and uses the 7-Eleven at the base of the road here told us this morning that with numerous closures in the Malibu area, it's just been tough to get to work.
Like hard as far as getting back and forth. I usually take Malibu Canyon, but it keeps closing down. With it being closed down, usually I would take Topanga, but you can't do that no more. So now we're having to go down Cannon, which has taken about another 20-30 minutes to get into work. You know, it's affecting our cells as well.
And giving you a look here at that stretch that she was talking about of Malibu Canyon Road. We showed you a map of that earlier as well, between Pacific Coast Highway and Piuma Road. Bulldozers out there moving rocks and dirt as well. And as we mentioned, that's expected to be closed through April 1st. So back out here live, a lot of commuting mess for folks who do have to get back and forth through these canyon areas that are just really impacted by all this rain we've been having. We'll be out here throughout the day. Right now, everything seems to be holding. We haven't had any word of any new issues. Just waiting and watching. Back to you.
All right, appreciate the update. Cara, thank you so much. Well, there is growing concern in the Hollywood Hills. This new storm could trigger more landslides in one neighborhood where 3 homes are already red tagged.
Kcal News reporter Tina Patel is live near the homes with a closer look at the condition. Tina?
All right, of course, you know, the Hollywood Hills is one of many areas, you know, as Cara mentioned, that are affected by this rain because those are areas that are prone to the mudslides and landslides. So let's go out to Tina right now.
Good morning. You know, when you're driving up to Flicker Way, you might not realize why these homes are red tagged. There are 3 of them right in a row that have these notices. It's only when you kind of look up in the hillside and you can kind of see what's going on behind the homes. That's what the concern is. We have some video from Kcal because last week when we had the rainstorm coming last Saturday and Sunday, that's when these hillsides started to give way. There was mud and boulders that came down into the backs of several properties, and building and safety inspectors came out. They actually said that 3 of these homes were unsafe to live in. And so that is why there is so much concern now, because that was just a week ago. There hasn't been time to remove any of that debris to really assess the damage. And now we are getting more rain when the hillsides are already saturated. We were out here yesterday, talked to a couple of people in this neighborhood, and there is a lot of concern about what could happen.
Oh my God, you know, I felt so sorry for the owners because I don't know if they'll have to tear down the houses. I don't know how much dirt has come down that hill.
You know, you just always have to be prepared. The weather can be so extreme.
Now, fortunately, as we come back out here live, the rain right now has lightened up, but already in the time that we've been here this morning, we've seen periods of light rain and then it's gotten heavier. And again, because the ground is saturated, it might not take more for some movement. So everybody here kind of keeping an eye on the weather, keeping an eye on whether they might need to leave. The fortunate thing about the slides that we had last week is no one was injured. Fire officials are hoping that everyone will kind of be aware today and that they can make sure to get through this storm safely as well. We'll send it back to you.
Hopefully so. Tina, thank you so much. One of the first places in Southern California to feel the effects of the storm was Ventura County. The rain poured from the sky in Ventura last night. Thunder rumbled in the background as restaurant patios sat empty. The rain made for a tough commute in Oxnard at rush hour. Almost 2 inches of rain have fallen so far. Many people we spoke with said they have shifted their Easter plans indoors.
It is what it is. That's why we came downtown tonight, had a nice dinner, and now we're going back, hunker down, and come back out on Monday.
Ventura County is under a flash flood watch until Sunday afternoon, and there is a high surf advisory for the beaches with 5 to 8 foot waves expected.
People in the Inland Empire are also getting ready for more wet weather. Crews made last-minute repairs to fix a leaky roof in Chino Hills. Cal Fire is warning residents to do last-minute checks around their property for any potential issues. They're also preparing their swiftwater rescue teams just in case. Residents went to local fire stations filling up sandbags to get ready.
I need to put the sandbags up in order to prevent erosion on my property.
I think it's heavy, so we have to figure out that problem.
And a reminder to drivers, snow and ice covered roads could make travel dangerous in the San Bernardino and Riverside County mountains. Now let's take a live look at Lake Arrowhead. The rain has been coming down pretty steady all night and it will continue throughout the morning. 5 to 8 inches of snow is expected today, starting in the afternoon.
Stay with Kcal News throughout this newscast and all weekend for storm coverage. Alex will be back in a few minutes with a detailed timeline.
Well, the largest crane on the East Coast has arrived in Baltimore to begin the long and difficult removal of that collapsed bridge. And construction workers are remembering the 6 people who died on the bridge. Kcal News reporter Wendy Gillette has the latest.
Right here,
right here,
right now,
right now, and always.
A group of construction workers gathered in the memory of their co-workers killed in the Key Bridge collapse. An immigrant advocacy group highlighted the sacrifices of all of them.
The workers who work at night and in the cold and throughout the pandemic, so our lives are made easier.
4 workers remain missing, including father of 3, Jose Lopez. His wife, Isabel Franco, spoke through an interpreter.
I feel bad. Only God knows how hard my heart aches. Maybe he was desperate, trying to escape.
The workers' bodies can't be recovered until debris is removed. The largest available crane on the East Coast is now in place at the port to help in the salvage operation, able to lift pieces weighing up to 1,000 tons. But first, engineers are devising the best ways to extract it all.
I know right now everyone wants to see things moving. You need to know, you need to trust that behind the scenes it's moving.
There's no timeline on when the port could reopen to ships.
I want this done quickly. I want it done right, but this is going to be a long road.
President Biden will visit Baltimore next week to see the aftermath of the accident for himself. Wendy Gillette, Kcal News.
The IRS is trying to give money to people who didn't file returns in 2020. The agency says about 940,000 people in the U.S. are owed a collective $1 billion. Those people have until May 17th to submit tax returns for a refund from 2020. The average refund is around $930.
Check this out. This is a time-lapse video showing a volcano erupting in Iceland against the backdrop of the Northern Lights. So beautiful. The volcano there is continuing to erupt, but to a lesser extent than it did in January and February. All right, you know, it is beautiful, but of course it can be dangerous.
Definitely. You don't want to be close to it, but from far away, it is very majestic to see.
Mother Nature can be so just amazing and awesome, but there are times when we see the force like, you know, rain.
Yeah.
Rain can cause a lot of damage, as we've seen locally. So hopefully everything in the Southland will be peaceful today.
We hope so.
Time right now is 7:11 coming up. Who would have ever thought AI could help you find your new best friend? But oh yeah, here we are. See the high-tech way you can find your perfect match.
And we have some hopeful news to share about last Saturday's pet of the weekend.
In business, we're always climbing. So
And let's enjoy this beautiful live look over the Hollywood Hills. The same picture all across the Southland. It is gloomy, rainy, and Alex Biston right now is tracking this storm and keeping an eye on the conditions. Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday morning. It is 7:13.
Well, the bond between people and their pets is incredible, and scientists say personality is a big part of finding the right one.
Yeah, Kcal News reporter Ian Lee shows us how researchers are harnessing the power of AI to do a little bit of matchmaking.
Searching for a new best friend often comes down to a gut feeling. Chelsea Battle adopted her Cavapoo Peanut during the pandemic.
One of the most important relationships in my life. He's my son.
While Chelsea got lucky, researchers hope artificial intelligence will take the chance out of it by predicting personality types in dogs.
These personality types are defined based on the behavioral attributes, not the breed, not the gender of the dog.
Using behavioral records of more than 70,000 dogs from the University of Pennsylvania, computer scientists from the University of East London developed an algorithm to classify canines into 5 groups with up to 99% accuracy. They found dogs fall into one of these categories: excitable and hyper-attached, anxious and fearful, aloof and predatory, reactive and assertive, and calm and agreeable.
This is centimeter.
With this information in paw, researchers hope to eventually predict the best dogs for sniffing out drugs or guiding the blind.
If we have an idea about the dog personality in advance, we can select the right dog for the right job.
Or the right match for a family. A high-tech solution to finding the perfect pup, whatever the personality. Ian Lee, Kcal News.
Oh, cute little pup.
I know, those faces just brighten my day. Nearly 50% of people returning dogs to animal shelters here in the U.S. say behavioral issues were a factor.
Yeah, researchers hope that AI will create more successful adoptions. And speaking of, while our matchmaking skills might not be as high-tech, every Saturday we highlight a pet from Pasadena Humane who's looking for a forever home.
So let's meet our pet of the weekend, Birdie, a 2-year-old Staffordshire Terrier mix. This sweet girl might be named Birdie, but we think she'll be a hole-in-one for anyone lucky enough to adopt her. As you can see, she's an active pup who's always ready to play some fetch or go on a hike, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love some cuddling. Volunteers say she's known to nearly knock people over because she just can't get close enough to them. So if you're looking for a new bestie, Birdie's your girl. Make her a part of your forever home today.
She makes me want to sing bye bye Birdie. You have no idea what I'm singing. All right, we have some good news this morning. We introduced you to this sweet pup named Triton last weekend. And Pasadena Humane let us know he's on a trial adoption run, guys. So hopefully that becomes official soon. We'll keep you posted. Oh, Triton made us so happy with his little skips and tail wags. I hope this is his forever home.
We were saying, right, that we knew, we had a good feeling about Triton because he's just so darn handsome.
Look at that
so
little
playful.
smiling face. I love it. And I like to see Triton right behind me. I wish I could just hug you.
I know. Give him a hug, Alex.
I could just give you a big hug.
Not y'all the same size.
I know, right? You know what? I love to show you this, right? But I feel like I have to get to my job, right, and show you the weather. Of course, I know a lot of people waking up this morning and they're wondering, hey, what can we expect as far as the rain is concerned? I have you covered in every aspect here. Santa Monica, as we look live, we are seeing the raindrops on the lens out there, and oh, it looks like there's a bird just right above the camera. I want to get to this. This is the live radar. So this is going to show us exactly where the rain is falling and where it is most intense. Now, we do have the flash flood warning. This is still in effect across some parts of the LA basin, from downtown LA to Compton, Long Beach, and all the way out to the Malibu coastline. So this is with us until 8 o'clock this morning for periods of heavier rainfall. And here it is. We're seeing it right along the 405 freeway up across the Sepulveda Pass. Meanwhile, that steady rain is coming down in Santa Clarita, and it has been for the past hour or so. Seeing a heavier band of rain through Anaheim all the way down into Santa Ana, right along the 5 freeway. And of course, the city of San Fernando, Simi Valley along the 118 freeway, dealing with that rain. Now, once we get up into the mountains, so as you make your way up through the Grapevine, that turns into snow. So mountain snow, definitely a concern. That is something that you need to be aware of if you maybe have plans to travel through the mountains. It's probably not advised, just because we're dealing with not only heavy snow, but stronger winds too, and that is going to make travel extra difficult. Now, we have the flood watch. That is in effect not just today, but really through tomorrow afternoon too for all of Southern California. So flooding is a concern with this system moving through. The rain is going to be most steady this morning, and then it will taper off to showers as we head into this afternoon. Threat of thunderstorms as the atmosphere is going to destabilize. It is going to be wet still on Easter. I'm going to time this out for you hour by hour futurecast, and we will see the heavier rain move over Temecula and Hemet as we head through the morning hours. By lunchtime, it is still raining in Chino, and as we head up into the mountains, we're still talking about snow. Showers, that threat of showers will continue as we head into this afternoon and, of course, tonight and into tomorrow, too. So really, any plans that you have for Easter Sunday, probably just best to bring it inside. I wouldn't really want you to get any downpours doing any Easter egg hunts because, again, we have that threat of thunderstorms as we head into tomorrow. And any thunderstorms that develop, we could see hail, of course, thunder, lightning, brief heavy downpours possible with that as well, and strong winds. Otherwise, by early Monday, we are going to dry out. That system moves out of here and we will see more sunshine. So really the wet days today, tomorrow, slight chance early Monday. Guess what? We warm up by the middle of the week. Temperatures nearing 80 degrees across the Inland Empire. And then temperatures fall again as we head into the start of next weekend with another chance for rain heading into Friday. Back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you. Well, a rain check for some Easter events across the region. The Rose Bowl canceled its annual Egg Bowl and Bunny Brunch, replacing it with the Hop into Spring event on Tuesday. Santa Anita Park is moving its weekend egg hunt to the following Sunday. And Huntington Beach has postponed Saturday's Family Fun Day until Saturday, April 27th. Well, even though we may have to wear some extra layers and maybe move our plans indoors, it doesn't mean we cannot have fun tomorrow.
That's right. That brings us to our question of the day. We want to know, how are you celebrating Easter? Let us know if the rain is affecting your plans. Send us your answers at Kcal News on X, formerly known as Twitter, and our Kcal News Facebook page, and we'll be sharing your answers throughout the morning.
All right, 7:20 on your Saturday morning coming up. The recent storms, along with California's wildfires, making it harder to insure homes. How it's impacting the housing market.
And we want to take a live look at Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains. All morning it's been raining and windy. We'll continue to bring you live weather updates throughout the morning.
The show-stopping BMW i4 is electricity in its most powerful form. A perfect fusion of iconic handling and
A California woman says she was wrongly convicted of murdering her husband and pushed for a new examination of the evidence. 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty has a preview of what that examination revealed.
Jane Dortic spent 2 decades fighting for her freedom.
I thought truth and justice was at the front of everything, and it certainly has not been in my case.
48 Hours started following Jane's case in 2000 after her arrest for the murder of her husband, Bob Dortic, who was found bludgeoned and strangled by the side of a road near their home.
He said he was going out for a jog.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
In the case presented at trial, the prosecutor said Bob never went for a jog, that Jane Dortick moved his body to where he was found after killing him in their bedroom. Investigators described finding blood all over the bedroom.
Now, the evidence will show that all this blood that has been described to you, the observations made in this bedroom, that it was all sent out for DNA analysis and it all came back to Bob Dortick's blood.
In 2001, a jury found Jane Dortick guilty of murder. From prison, Jane spent years filing motions asking for new testing of evidence. Working with Loyola Project for the Innocent, new testing was done, including of the blood in the bedroom. Jane's team said it revealed some of the spots were never tested. Others were not blood at all.
And joining me now with more is 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty. Now, Erin, you followed this case and for so long, and it seemed to spend a lot of time with Jane inside her home, potentially the murder scene. What did you think when you actually met her?
Well, it's interesting, you know, Chris, we do stay on cases for a long time, but this one in particular, it stayed in my mind because I found Jane back then very credible. It was one of those very confusing cases. She told us, number one, she let us in her home. She interviewed me without an attorney being present. Anytime I wanted to talk to her, she would. She answered questions the way I thought I would if I had been wrongfully accused of something. But at the time, she said her husband went for a run, and then he was found dead along the road. But investigators are saying, no, the crime scene is in the bedroom. I really didn't know what to think. And so now, you know, flash forward to now when we realize with new testing that much of what the prosecutors said back at trial was just not accurate. It's very difficult to accept it or understand. Now, admittedly, we're talking about early 2000. DNA was very different back then. But there's one point where the prosecutor, and I was in the courtroom, said, all of this blood we're going to show you has been sent for DNA analysis, and it belongs to Bob Dortick. And that just turned out not to be the case. Some of that blood wasn't blood. Some of it wasn't human blood, and some of it did not belong to Bob Dortick.
Yeah, so fascinating to hear. I mean, what would the motive have been, according to prosecutors?
Well, we hear this a lot on 48 Hours, of course. Everyone knows that, you know, when somebody is murdered, you look at the spouse. This was a couple who had been married for years. They had separated one time earlier, and the prosecution believed that Jane, who was the main earner, didn't want to pay alimony. She, of course, denied that, and there didn't seem to be real evidence of that at the time, but it's certainly something the jury could believe.
Yeah, and, you know, for Jane, what turned the case around?
It was Jane. You know, Jane from the beginning. That's what worried me. That's why this case has stayed in my head. Jane never gave up proclaiming her innocence. From almost the moment she ended up in jail and prison, she was filing motion after motion after motion. What is surprising is that a judge actually gave her new testing based on one of her motions, and then Loyola, for their Project for the Innocent, also joined her case and really made the difference. You know, got more testing and got her back into court.
Yeah, sounds like a fascinating case. Well, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, thank you so much. Looking forward to watching. And don't miss tonight's episode of 48 Hours at 10 o'clock right here on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. We'll be right back.
What's this?
It's an amuse-bouche with pureed nut spread and muddled berries.
I hate that I love this so much. Well done. It's a PB&J.
is Kcal News Mornings.
Welcome to Kcal News at 7 on CBS and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. I'm Sheba Turk.
And I'm Rachel Kim. All morning long, we've been seeing that green behind us. A lot of rain.
And a lot of it.
A lot of rain and snow. Let's check in with Alex Biston, who's tracking this storm. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. And I think if there is a silver lining to all of this, I know it's on the weekend, but you know what? A lot of people don't have to commute into work this morning, so that is the good news with all of this rain that is falling. But unfortunately, it might dampen some Easter plans, and we will get to the weekend forecast for you in just a second. I want to show you what is happening right now. This is our live radar. It is going to pinpoint exactly where the heaviest rain is falling, and we can see those heavier rainfall rates indicated in darker colors, so darker green, yellows, and oranges. That is falling across the LA basin in areas like Inglewood this morning. If you are waking up in Inglewood, you are definitely feeling that steady rain through Downey into Glendale, Sierra Madre, so the San Gabriel Valley. A line of heavier showers from Glendora all the way into Chino Hills, parts of Orange County this morning. Hey, if you're waking up in Wrightwood or Big Bear, you are definitely seeing the snowfall this morning. In Fullerton, temperatures will be cool today. We will struggle to reach 60 degrees, so really we're getting in the upper 50s. We're well below average. Steady rain this morning turns into showers this afternoon and, of course, into Easter Sunday, too. We'll break down the details of your extended forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Alex. New mudslide concerns with this new storm this morning in many areas of Southern California.
Yeah, Malibu Canyon Road is also closed ahead of the storm. The closure from PCH to Piuma Road started at 7 o'clock last night and is expected to last until Monday morning.
And Kcal News reporter Cara Finstrom is live at another dangerous mudslide zone in Topanga Canyon. What's the latest there, Cara?
Yeah, you know, folks here dealing with numerous areas of concern. Right behind us here, as you mentioned, we're along Topanga Canyon Boulevard, and some of the hillsides up here are very unstable. This is as close as we can actually get to an area that has been sliding for a couple of weeks now. Take a look. The sliding started March 9th during heavy rain. A geologist is monitoring it with folks diverting around the closure between Pacific Coast Highway and Grandview. Portions are buried under rocks and dirt. Caltrans found a huge crack in a hillside, and just this past Thursday, geologists sense even more movement. We just spoke with a commuter who made it a point to stop at a gas station, a local gas station, because it's being so impacted by this.
I sometimes drive up PCH to Malibu from Marina Del Rey, and so I notice with Topanga Canyon closed, no one's going to stop at the 7-Eleven. They're not going to stop for gas, and I feel sorry for them because then they're just sitting here. So there's a lot of gas stations along here, but I thought, you know what, I'll fill up here.
And we want to give you a look from Kcal at the other major closure we were talking about. This is Malibu Canyon Road between Pacific Coast Highway and Piuma Road, just about 6 miles from here. And you can see bulldozers have been up there as well, moving rocks and dirt around. That closure estimated again to be lasting through the morning of April the 1st. So back here live, we are at the base of this closure right along PCH, and the gas station clerk that we spoke with said she's been just having a tough time getting back and forth to work. She's lived in the area for almost 3 years, a little over 2 years, and she says this has been the worst she's seen as far as having multiple major arteries here shut down at the same time. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Cara. Unstable hills in Hollywood have an entire neighborhood on edge.
That's right. This latest storm could cause more landslides, and even more homes could be red tagged. Kcal News reporter Tina Patel live in the Hollywood Hills, where it's been raining on and off all morning long. Good morning, Tina.
Yeah, good morning. And right now it's just a little light rain, but the concern is the ground is already saturated. And if you look between these two homes, you can see the hillside. That is the concern because we've already seen movement on that hillside over the past week. In fact, take a look at this video from Kcal because it was after the storms last weekend that a lot of mud and boulders came down into the back of several homes here on Flicker Way. 3 homes had to be red tagged. That means that they are not considered safe for people to live in. 7. Now, fortunately, no one was injured. Everybody was able to get out safely. But now that we're getting more rain and the ground has already been moving, there are a lot of people here on edge, not sure whether there could be more slides and whether more homes might be affected. We had a chance to talk to a captain with the LAFD about what people here should know.
We don't want people to be unnecessarily worried or concerned. However, take appropriate precautions, especially if you live in an area where there's steep hillsides. We're going to put additional boots on the ground that are swift water rescue trained to ensure that we can quickly respond to any problems.
And so far this morning, we have not heard of any problems. But again, it's still early in the morning. The rain is still coming down. So a lot of people who live in communities like here in the Hollywood Hills, they're not going to really give that sigh of relief until this storm stops and we have a few days where we can actually start to dry out. We don't know when that's going to happen because right now it feels like the rain is starting to get a little bit heavier again. So we'll send it back to you.
All right, Tina, thank you so much. California's insurance crisis is adding to the worry around these storms. It's getting harder and more expensive to insure your home and cars. The recent storms, plus California's fire threat, have many homeowners struggling to get insurance, and that's impacting the housing market in Southern California.
It's really become a disaster, and it's somewhat affected the values of homes north of Sunset and in the hillside areas. Maybe I shouldn't say affected the values. It's made it a lot harder and takes a lot longer to sell the property.
Well, one expert in insurance says that Americans are seeing a roughly 10 to 12% increase in their homeowners insurance rates, and auto rates are going up even more. Something no one wants to hear.
We're all feeling it.
Oh my goodness, yeah, it impacts so many parts of our lives. All right, it's 7:36 now, and coming up after the break, our Jamie Maggio has the story of a local nonprofit that's paving the way for thousands of foster kids to reach their potential and overcome the odds.
In an era of constant cyber hacks and security breaches, it's more important than ever to protect your data. A cybersecurity expert has some very important tips ahead of World Backup Day.
And don't forget to send us your answers to today's question of the day. How are you celebrating Easter? We'll read your answers coming up.
Todo comienza con una camioneta Chevy. La Chevy Silverado, con motor Turbo Max y el mejor torque estándar en su...
World Backup Day is tomorrow, and as we've seen in the last few months, making sure your data and information are protected is more important than ever. Dr. Sean McAlmont, cybersecurity expert and Ningio CEO, joins us now with more. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Doctor, now you have quite the cybersecurity background. Explain for those who don't know, including myself, what exactly is World Backup Day?
You know, it's actually a great reminder to all of us that we manage a lot of data
that is digital today.
That's right.
You know, over the last 20 years, I think we've moved to less paper, no more physical pictures.
That's right.
So we have files, both personally and professionally at work, that need to be protected. It's tremendous value in that data. And so World Backup Day is a great reminder to all that we need to protect that information.
Absolutely. And what are some things people can do to protect their devices as well as their personal data?
We hear all the time that there are breaches that happen to businesses that have caused companies to pay billions of dollars in ransom, but this also happens to individuals. You know, and so your bank accounts are being wiped out. Personal data is out there on the World Wide Web and the dark web. And so what we found is there are a number of things you can do, starting with looking at the emails that come into your email inbox.
Okay.
If you are getting an email or you're expecting one from Chase, for example, your bank, but the email address doesn't have a Chase extension, then that's a warning. That's probably a fraudulent email. So just that awareness alone is very, very important.
If you see that email, should you click on it or just delete it?
I typically delete it.
Okay.
You know, I don't even go in because you just never know. You could click something in there that could cause even more damage. And so that's the first and foremost. Secondly, just on the theme of backup, you know, we have to protect our information. And so there are a number of ways to do that, whether it's using the backup options in your digital devices or your laptop, external backup storage,
like a hard drive.
Yeah, like a hard drive that's external, or cloud storage. Those are all easy options. You can search how to do it, and you can do that tomorrow, today.
Good point. Dr. McCall, what is it looking like right now in cybersecurity space?
Billions of dollars being lost. And I think it's picking up steam. But what we found under that number is about 3 out of 4 breaches happen because of the human element. So it's somebody clicking a bad link within a business environment, letting bad actors in and holding the information ransom. When they hold that information ransom, companies are forced to either work around it. If they can't do that, their business is impacted and they end up paying a ransom. And so billions of dollars are paid each year, which can devastate a business.
Absolutely.
So at Ninja, what we do is we train the human element. We are training adults in the workplace. As adults, we're busy. There's a certain way we like to learn, and so we make flexible episodes. They're animated. We use Hollywood writers and Hollywood voices, and they are 5 minutes long.
Okay.
So you can engage in them, and we send them out every month.
Yeah, it's so easy to understand.
Yes.
I like that. And Doctor, how has this all changed in the last few years because of all the new technology?
We're a technology-driven, it's a technology-driven economy, technology-driven businesses, and technology continues to become a bigger part of what we do on a daily basis. So because of that, the vulnerabilities are increasing as well. And so again, we try to train to not only awareness, but in the background, we collect data. And so when people click bad links, we can see what vulnerability they had. Was it because of greed or curiosity, social, something familiar to you, or urgency? There are many reasons we might click a bad link, and we try to also train on those vulnerabilities so we change their behavior and reduce risk.
Yeah, so important, such great information. Dr. McCall, thank you so much for being here with us and really educating us about World Backup Day.
Oh, thank you, Rachel, thank you.
All right, and you can find this segment on our website, kcalnews.com/SeenOnTV.
Being an athlete
Welcome back to Kcal News on this Saturday morning. We're taking a live look at LAX, and if you are headed to the airport today, check your flight. So far this morning, we're seeing 70 delays. Make sure to plan extra driving time to the airport. In rain and the dangerous road conditions, you want to prepare for that. You see some raindrops on the camera there, and the wet roads. Be extra careful if you're headed out.
Yeah, that's a scene repeated all across Southern California today. Well, you might recognize Luc Robitaille as president of the LA Kings, but for almost 20 years, him and his wife Stacia have been working to help thousands of kids in the foster system.
And our Jamie Maggio has the story of their nonprofit. It's called Echoes of Hope.
I think that there's no greater gift to yourself than to give yourself to another. And I know Luc has learned that. Just being married to me, it's, as a couple, it's contagious.
Stacia Robitaille says it was soon after she began dating her now husband, LA Kings president and Hockey Hall of Famer Luc Robitaille, that she convinced him to work with kids.
So I looked at Luc after a couple years and I said, honey, I gotta follow through with my dream. So we started Echoes of Hope, and that was almost 20 years ago now.
The nonprofit helps at-risk and foster children reach their full potential by bringing a higher education within reach.
Instinctively think, you know, you're 18, you're on your own, you're an adult. A lot of the foster youth, they leave their homes with a trash bag or a backpack if they're lucky.
There are approximately 60,000 children in the state's foster care system, but the National Foster Youth Institute found that just 3 to 4% of former foster children obtain a 4-year degree. The Robitailles are working to change that.
Well, I'll start with my Javon. So he was my first youth. I mean, he was in a chair and he turned up and he looked at me and we both just got the biggest smile. It was like, in 2 weeks, he was calling me mom.
It was just an instant connection, and it wasn't like I was getting connected to another organization. It was I was getting connected to love, to family, and to peers who wanted better for their life.
Javon Wilkes is the first foster person to go through the Echoes of Hope program.
When people take the time to show that they care, and they're taking the time to invest in another person, how is that investment life-changing?
Well, when you're a young person that comes from the foster care system, when you've experienced homelessness like I have, there's an absence that you're born into. And when you feel it, it's definitely uncomfortable. But it's the greatest thing in the world when you know somebody cares about your well-being to thrive and not just survive.
Making a difference for so many people. I love that. All right, it is 7:48 now, to time to look at this storm. Meteorologist Alex Biston tracking that for us. We see wet weather everywhere.
We do. And you know what? That is changing to snowfall up in the mountain communities. Almost hard to kind of see through our camera here. This is up toward Mount Wilson. And yes, once we head up into the higher elevations, it is all about the snowfall. We're seeing those strong winds this morning. I want to show you exactly where all this activity is. It's pretty widespread this morning. We still have that flash flood warning, so that is in effect across the LA basin. This is going to be with us for about another 10 minutes or so until 8 o'clock this morning. So areas of heavy rain, that is what we are picking up and have been over the past few hours. So it is falling steady in areas like Glendale, Arcadia, Glendora, so many of our foothill communities. It is raining too as you head up into Crestline, San Bernardino, right along the 215 freeway. Let's go up into the desert along the 15 as you make your way through Victorville, Lake Los Angeles, and Lancaster, all seeing that rain this morning. So we've got those winds coming out of the south, wind advisories in effect, so wet, windy, cool weekend. This is an unseasonably cold system that is impacting us this weekend. And once we head through the 8 to 9 o'clock hour, a lot of that rain is going to be centered over the Inland Empire, portions of Riverside County moving into San Diego. But guess what? Santa Clarita and Camarillo by around 10:15 getting a little bit of a break from the wet weather, but the chance of showers will continue as we head into this afternoon, this evening, and into Sunday too. And when we see maybe a little bit of a clearing, you might think, oh great, the system's moving out of here, but that's actually going to give us a little bit more instability. So with this destabilization of the atmosphere, we've got that chance of thunderstorms too. And that's when things could get a little bit dicey. Brief heavy downpours possible with that. We see a line of heavier rain as we head into Sunday morning. So really Easter Sunday, you will want to just be prepared for the wet weather. By Monday, waking you up, we've got a mostly clear sky, so that system is going to move out of here. But one of the impacts really is going to be the heavy snowfall up in the mountains. That is above 5,000 feet, several feet of snow possible. Of course, difficult travel conditions. That's what we're watching through I-5, through the Grapevine, as you make your way through Fraser Park and up into Kern County. That winter storm warning in effect across the Santa Barbara County mountains and Ventura County mountains. So this system packing quite a punch. A late season storm. Temperatures cool this weekend. We finally say goodbye to that system by Monday. Temperatures closer to average. Guess what? We have a little bit of a warm up for you, nearing 80 degrees as we head into Wednesday with sunshine. And then things take another turn as we're talking cooler temperatures and an increasing chance for more wet weather by Friday. Back to you.
Can't wait for that sunshine. Alex, thank you so much. Time right now is 7:51. Still to come. Is the rain putting a damper on your Easter plans? We'll hear some of your answers to today's question of the day.
And then coming up on Kcal News at 9, we continue to track the weather conditions throughout SoCal.
And we'll check back in with Tina Patel, who is live in the Hollywood Hills. She's keeping an eye on the unstable hills, putting homes at risk.
Now, Disney storytelling and world-famous Disney
It's over, Christina.
No, I want more details. Keep sending us your answers at Kcal News on X and our Kcal News Facebook page. We will continue our question of the day on our sister station, Kcal, at 8 a.m.
Yes. Okay, so there is our question of the day. You guys send us your answers, maybe some pictures. We'd love to see it because, you know, a lot of people I know are going to maybe move their Easter egg hunt indoors, which would be a good idea in this case,
A highlight of childhood.
I know.
Oh, I know, and it's such a damper, right, on the weekend. It's like I want to send a message to Mother Nature and be like, can we just wait, you know, like a few days?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, girl, like it's spring.
There are perks to having it on the weekend because less people on the roads, right? So that's the good news, but I know lots of people had outdoor plans. So let's highlight today. Let's talk about today. We're seeing that steady rainfall this morning. That is going to turn into showers as we head into this afternoon. It is going to be cool. So this is an unseasonably cold system that is hitting us. We've got snowfall up in the mountain communities with temperatures in the 30s this afternoon. Ooh. So that chance of showers, also a chance of thunderstorms too. That is today. And even a little higher as we head into tomorrow. So we are watching for that. It won't be as steady, that rainfall. So we could actually see some peaks of sunshine, but that's going to help destabilize the atmosphere and again bring us that chance of thunderstorms. Otherwise, we will dry out, and guess what, ladies? Temperatures near 80 degrees by Wednesday.
Oh, cannot wait. Sunshine, come soon.
I know. Let's
Alex,
order
thank
some of
you.
that. Thank you.
Thank you for watching Kcal News at 7. Remember, we're always on kcalnews.com, streaming on CBS News Los Angeles.
We are not done yet, though. We'll see you over on Channel 9 with much more news and weather.
This is Kcal News Mornings.
Good morning, everyone. Today it's Saturday, March 30th. I'm Rachel Kim.
And I'm Shiva Turk. Welcome to Kcal News at 8 and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. Well, the rain is coming down and hitting different parts of SoCal. Here's a look at the conditions from Duarte to San Bernardino. The slick roads are causing dangerous driving conditions. And take a look at this terrifying crash. A car spun out on the 101 freeway in Van Nuys. That was around 2 this morning near the Woodman exit and ended up in the fast lane against the center divider. You see the driver turn on the blinkers, but another car drove right into the disabled car. Emergency crews showed up a few minutes later. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured.
And another violent crash, this one in Long Beach. This gray car was entering the southbound 110 freeway when it spun out on the on-ramp and went down an embankment. Thankfully, the guardrail stopped it from ending up in the middle of the lanes, and no one was hurt.
All right, let's get over to next weather meteorologist Alex Piston, who has the latest on this storm's movement. Alex.
Man. That's some tough video to watch. All scary. Yes. And definitely take it easy on the roads this morning. That's going to really be the case into Sunday, too. So want to show you this massive area of low pressure. This is what is bringing the rain to us this morning, and not just rainfall in Southern California. It is up and down the state. We are seeing snowfall across the Sierra and, of course, snowfall locally in our mountains as well. Let's break it all down for you. And we are seeing widespread rain this morning across Lake Elsinore as you make your way along the 215 freeway into Paris. Up in the mountains, Wrightwood, it is about the snowfall this morning. We are seeing that in Big Bear, too. So again, widespread rain this morning. That is going to taper off into showers as we head into this afternoon. Still the threat of rain. Thunderstorms, too, as we head into Easter Sunday, unfortunately. Temperatures on the cooler side today, we're really just reaching low 60s. Average for this time of year is upper 60s to low 70s. So we are below that average. It's cool, it's windy, it's wet this weekend. And the good news is, I've got some good news, is that we're looking at some warmer days ahead in the middle of the week, but also tracking that next chance of wet weather. We'll break it all down for you coming up in just a few minutes. Rachel and Sheba, back to you.
All right, thank you, Alex. Downtown LA also got a downpour overnight, but the areas of most concern are where there are landslide dangers. And that's where we have Kcal News reporter Tina Patel. She's in the Hollywood Hills, where 12 homes have been red tagged after a recent hill collapsed. And Malibu Canyon Road is also closed ahead of the storm. That closure from PCH to Piuma Road started at 7 last night. That's expected to last until Monday morning. And this morning, we're at another dangerous mudslide area in Topanga Canyon, and that's where Kcal News reporter Cara Finstrom is with the latest. Cara?
Good morning. You know, engineers worried about any more water weight on these already unstable hillsides. Behind us, you can see this hard road closure and a security crew that has been keeping watch because they just really don't want anyone going up into this area, just considered too hazardous. Take a look at this. The sliding along the stretch of Topanga Canyon Boulevard started back on March 9th during heavy rain. A geologist has been monitoring the area, with folks having to divert around the closure, which stretches between Pacific Coast Highway and Grandview. Portions are buried under rocks and dirt. Caltrans found a huge crack in a hillside, and they're worried that could widen. Just this past Thursday, geologists sense even more movement. We spoke with a woman who works at a 7-Eleven here at the base of the closure, and she says having multiple major roads impacted here in the Malibu area at the same time, it's been rough.
Like hard as far as getting back and forth. I usually take Malibu Canyon, but it keeps closing down. With it being closed down, usually I would take Topanga. But you can't do that no more, so now we're having to go down Cannon, which has taken about another 20-30 minutes to get into work. You know, it's affecting our cells as well.
And this is a look from Kcal at that other major closure here in Malibu we've been talking about, Malibu Canyon Road between Pacific Coast Highway and Piuma Road, just a little over 6 miles from where we are. Bulldozers have been very busy up there moving rocks and dirt in recent days. And again, that's estimated to be closed through the morning of April the 1st. Now back out here live, I want to give you a feel for where that lady works. You can see the closure behind us, and she's right here in this gas station. And just beyond that, that is PCH. So right here, butting up to PCH, this is the base of the closure. And we'll be out here throughout the day, kind of just watching, monitoring it. So far, no reports of any new problems this morning.
All right, Cara, thank you so much. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office has issued an evacuation order for people living near the site of this landslide over Highway 150 in Santa Paula. The original slide happened in February. A huge chunk of a hillside came down, then barely missed a horse barn. Now authorities say a new section of the hill started to slide this week. Highway 150 remains blocked and buried under a feet of dirt and debris.
The saturated hills could still come sliding down, causing a dangerous problem for people living in the Hollywood Hills.
Kcal News reporter Tina Patel live near some of the homes that have already been red tagged. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning. It has been fairly quiet this morning, and that might be because there are 3 homes along the street on Flicker Way that were red tagged. That means it is not safe for anybody to be in the homes. And if you look above behind the hillside, that's the reason that these homes have been deemed unsafe, because we're not sure about whether those hillsides will hold. Let me show you a little bit of video from Kcal earlier this week, and you can see that it was the storms last week, last Saturday and Sunday, that actually brought down some mud, debris, and boulders into the back of these homes. That's why building and safety inspectors came out and said that 3 homes had to be evacuated just for safety precautions. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a lot of time between that storm and the one that we are getting now, and that's why people who live in this area, even if they're not in these homes, they are feeling very concerned and very wary about just how much rain might come down with this next storm and what that might do to the hillsides that are already moving. We talked to a couple of people this week. Here's what they had to say.
Oh my God, you know, I felt so sorry for the owners because I don't know if they'll have to tear down the houses. I don't know how much dirt has come down that hill.
You know, you just always have to be prepared. Yeah. The weather can be so extreme.
Yeah, and actually, as we were driving up this morning, there are a few homes here that have sandbags in front, people kind of doing what they can to divert the water away from their homes. Again, it's all a matter of how much rain comes and how heavy it is. Right now, it doesn't feel too bad, but again, the ground is saturated because we've had a number of storms these last few months. So everybody just kind of waiting and watching. We'll send it back to you.
I'm sure they are on edge. Tina, thank you so much. We'll be tracking the storm's movement throughout the morning. Stay with Kcal News for the latest on the storm. Plus, we're always streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. Kcal News at 8 a.m. It's just getting started. $2 billion were spent on traffic safety, so why are deadly crashes on the rise? The investigation into what's happening on the roads here and across the country.
And a new arrest this morning after a suspect allegedly shot at deputies during a wild pursuit. We'll have the latest ahead.
Todo comienza con una camioneta
nearly hit many more cars and buses. The chase started in Bell and continued through freeways and surface streets in Mid-City, Beverly Grove, the Miracle Mile, and Koreatown before police arrested the suspect.
The suspect who allegedly shot at deputies during a chase yesterday has now been arrested. That suspect was driving a white van that crashed, and he was last believed to be hiding out in an industrial area near Alameda Street and Imperial Highway in Long Beach. He was later taken into custody in Linwood. The LA Sheriff's Department says no deputies were hurt.
CBS News has learned the Department of Transportation spent more than $2 billion in the last couple of years on traffic safety projects. Yet in nearly every major American city, traffic death rates are up.
CBS News investigative correspondent Stephen Stock discovered those tax dollars are paying for more talk than action.
She could find the silliness and the fun and the joy in so much.
The singing and joy ended. The moment a driver blew through this four-way stop, running over little 5-year-old Allie Hart as she walked her bicycle in front of her dad.
So the last thing I said to her was, "I missed you while you were at school today." And she said, "I missed you too, Mommy." And that was it. That was the end of life as we knew it.
Allie was one of 40 people that year killed in Washington, D.C. traffic crashes. Last year, traffic deaths there jumped nearly 93% from 5 years ago, despite the city spending more than $20 million since 2020 on Vision Zero, a program meant to reduce traffic fatalities.
If it's working so well, why are we seeing fatalities go up?
It's so challenging and nuanced.
Sharon Kirschbaum, interim director of D.C.'s Department of Transportation, says Vision Zero works on those streets where changes have been made, like traffic cameras and narrowed lanes.
When we have done a project, we can see that it's having an impact and the crashes are no longer happening where we've done something.
But nothing is done in many cases, like on this busy thoroughfare, Connecticut Avenue Northwest, where every day 32,000 cars drive into the district. City leaders spent $1.5 million and years planning to narrow the street and slow down speeds. But after vocal opposition, leaders backed off and did nothing.
In many cases, we are so desperately trying to increase speeds that we're creating more potential points of deadly conflict. You can see here there's no shoulder.
Beth Osborne supported Safe Streets initiatives like Vision Zero when she was acting assistant secretary at the U.S. Department of Transportation.
I grew up in the South. We would say we're always fixing to do good things, but when you're fixing to, you're not actually doing anything.
CBS News analyzed more than 1,100 Safe Streets projects nationwide in the last 2 years. We found fewer than 1 in 10 projects were actually doing or making physical changes. Most projects involved no action, just discussion and planning.
Do we need to do more doing and less talking?
I think we certainly need to continue accelerating this work, and we need to recognize and learn from the places that are getting real results.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg calls the number of fatalities on our roads a national crisis.
Why, despite spending all this money, are the fatality rates still going up in major American cities?
Well, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Look, we've had an increase in the use of vehicles, and in some cases their size and speeds have been increasing too.
Vision Zero is working in Europe, in Sweden, where deaths were cut in half, or the Netherlands, which now has one of the lowest traffic fatality rates in the world.
Why is it working in Europe but not working here?
Americans are used to just thinking of it as a cost of doing business or something that can't be avoided, but I don't see how we can accept that.
A white ghost bike memorializes the crosswalk where Allie used to walk home from school.
And the car came down here and didn't stop. Didn't know he'd hit her until he was through the intersection and presumably heard Brian screaming.
But little else has changed, including driver behavior, as we witnessed several cars never slowing down, much less stopping, where Allie died.
I turned to advocacy because it felt like after Allie was killed, I couldn't not do something. I couldn't live with the idea that my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, was dead and gone forever, and that was it.
We looked at government spending in California and found that over the past 2 years, close to $283 million, mostly federal tax dollars, have gone towards 124 traffic safety projects. But fatalities have actually gone up 13% in the LA area since adopting Vision Zero. I'm Stephen Stock, CBS News.
Very eye-opening, and he's raising very good questions.
Yeah, because something needs to be done. And you see the loss of innocent lives, and especially when you see it could be preventable with changes made, it's even more devastating.
Yeah. All right, many of you waking up to a wet, soggy morning, probably looking outside and realize just how much rain fell overnight. Alex Bisson has been tracking this storm from the very beginning. And Alex, what's the latest?
You know what? We continue to see the rainfall across Southern California. It is widespread this morning. And when we see the yellows, the oranges, that tells us that rainfall rates are a little bit heavier. So we are seeing that in areas like Santa Clarita is coming down in San Fernando and into areas like Riverside and up toward our desert communities, Lake Los Angeles, right along the 395. We're seeing snowfall right at the highest peaks up through the Grapevine and into Fraser Park this morning. So we do have that winter storm warning in effect for our local mountains. Rainfall totals so far, this is over the past 6 hours, we have seen anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain. Once it's all said and done, we could see anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain for the coast and valley communities. So that flood watch, that is with us not just today, but into tomorrow as well. So flooding is a big concern. The rain is most steady this morning. It is going to taper off into showers as we head into this afternoon. That is going to continue through Easter Sunday. Chance of thunderstorms too, as the atmosphere is going to destabilize. So we could have the threats continue of brief heavy downpours, lightning, hail associated with that too. And then we will warm up as we head into the middle of the week. So that is the good news. There is some light at the end of the tunnel. Want to walk you through the next 2 days here with the Futurecast. So through the morning hours, we're continuing to see that rain coming down steady in Riverside, Temecula, a little bit of a break in areas like the LA Basin, Burbank, and into Camarillo too. But the threat of showers will continue this afternoon and into this evening. So here's 3:15. 4 o'clock. This is why I have been saying just you want to have the rain gear handy with you through the weekend, because it does get a little bit heavier at times as we head into this evening, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and really as we head into the overnight hours. Still some areas of heavier rain developing as we head through Sunday morning. So from Fullerton to Santa Ana and Laguna Beach too. Here's 9:15 tomorrow morning. So really any plans you have outdoors for Easter, probably just best and safest to bring it inside. I do not want you to be getting hit with heavy downpours as we head into tomorrow for your Easter Sunday. By Monday morning, the system really starting to move out of here. Maybe a few lingering showers. For the most part, we are seeing sunshine return by Monday. So for the mountain communities, we've got temperatures in the 30s today, tomorrow. Heavy snow this morning. That turns into showers tomorrow. More sunshine by Monday with temperatures in the 40s. For our valley communities, well below average this weekend. It is quite windy as well. Temperatures back into the 70s by Monday. Guess what? Nearing 80 degrees by Wednesday. It's a little bit of a roller coaster here because we peak Wednesday and then temperatures fall again as we head into Friday into next weekend. Rain chances increase too. I really wish this was flip-flopped, right? And we were talking about the rain in the middle of the week so we could enjoy the weekends. But unfortunately, this is kind of the setup that we have now. So watching that, of course, as we head into Friday. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Alex. Still to come on Kcal News at 8, the rain is putting a damper on many people's Easter plans. A look at some of LA's most popular events and how changing plans with this weather are being affected.
Yeah, Easter came early for those in need. A look at the big outreach event by the LA Mission. Yeah, they served hot meals and provided grooming services and clothes to help change the lives of the city's unhoused population.
We have a great team here at the LA Mission that loves to just put in a lot of hard work to organize, not only to bring clothes to the community, but to bring it in a way and a fashion that's like dignified. Like it's a shopping mall in here. It's a lot of fun.
Well, more than 1,500 people were served at this year's event, and some celebrities showed up to come help and serve.
And the rain is putting a damper on some people's Easter plans across the region. The Rose Bowl canceled its annual Egg Bowl and Bunny Brunch, replacing it with the Hop into the Spring event on Tuesday. Santa Anita Park is moving its weekend egg hunt to the following Sunday, and Huntington Beach has postponed Saturday's Family Fun Day until Saturday, April 27th. Even though we might not want to pull all our eggs in one basket when it comes to Easter plans, it doesn't mean we can't have some fun.
Yeah, so that brings us to our question of the day. We want to know, how are you celebrating Easter? Let us know if the storm is impacting your plans.
Yeah, send us your answers at Kcal News on X and on our Kcal News Facebook page. Of course, we will be sharing your answers throughout the morning.
All right, it's 8:24 now. Still to come at 8 a.m. The state's insurance crisis only getting worse and why it's becoming harder for people to get coverage.
Then a look at how the IRS is trying to get people to file their taxes. And they say a lot of people are missing their returns. We'll explain straight ahead.
This is Kcal News Mornings.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, March 30th. I'm Rachel Kim.
And I'm Sheba Turk. Welcome to Kcal News at 8 and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. Well, we are back together for the Easter weekend, but We got a lot of rain, as you can see behind us. Alex Biston has been tracking this storm for us. What can we expect for the rest of the weekend, Alex?
You know what? It is such a good question, and everybody's wondering, is the weekend a little salvageable? The answer is, well, it depends on how you look at it, right? Because we do have that chance of showers really continuing as we head through Sunday, through Easter Sunday. Want to start off with this live look over Santa Monica. It is gloomy and it is wet out there. Want to show you our radar. This pinpoints exactly where the rain is falling right now. It shows us the intensity too. So it is steady rainfall from Santa Monica to Inglewood, Torrance, Lakewood, Downey. You are getting hit this morning. Otherwise, up in the mountains, Wrightwood, we're seeing snowfall this morning. Lake Los Angeles, so once we get into the desert, it turns into rainfall. We are seeing that right along the 395, the 15 freeway. If you are headed up into Vegas this morning, just know you are going to battle some of that wet weather. It is also falling in Orange County this morning, in Paris, right along the 215 freeway. So it is wet this morning. It is blustery in some spots, and it is cool. So we will have the steady rain turn into showers this afternoon. Showers continuing into our Easter Sunday. Guess what? I've got temperatures nearing 80 degrees on the 7-day forecast, if you can believe that. We'll break it down for you coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. 2 more crashes on the 91 freeway in Corona. These happened near the 71 freeway interchange. The first was around 7:25. Then just 5 minutes later, another crash involving a white car. These accidents slowed down traffic quite a bit, but things are clearing up. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt. This morning's storm is raising concerns about more mudslides.
That's right. Malibu Canyon Road is also closed ahead of the storm. The closure from PCH to Payuma Road started at 7 o'clock last night, and it is expected to last until Monday morning. This morning, we're at another dangerous mudslide area in Topanga Canyon. That's where Kcal News reporter Cara Finstrom is with the latest. And Cara, what is the latest there?
Yeah, continuing concerns here, Sheba. You can see the road shut down completely behind us. That is a hard closure, and the rain is starting to come down a little bit more steadily here right now. The worry that this storm will put more stress on these already unstable hillsides. This is as close as we can get to the trouble area, which has been sliding for a couple weeks now. Take a look at this. The sliding started back on March 9th during some heavy rain. A geologist has been monitoring it since, with folks having to divert around the closure between Pacific Coast Highway and Grandview. Portions are buried under rocks and dirt. Caltrans says engineers did find a huge crack in the hillside. They fear that might widen, so at this point, they haven't even started to tackle cleanup. Just this past Thursday, geologists said they had sensed even more movement up there. We spoke with a commuter who made it a point to stop for gas at a local station here that's been impacted.
I sometimes drive up PCH to Malibu from Marina Del Rey, and so I noticed with Topanga Canyon closed, no one's going to stop at the 7-Eleven. They're not going to stop for gas, and I feel sorry for them because then they're just sitting here. So there's a lot of gas stations along here, but I thought, you know what, I'll fill up here.
All right, want to give you a look at aerial view, actually, of the other major closure here in Malibu that we have been talking about, and that's Malibu Canyon Road between Pacific Coast Highway and Payuma Road. That's about 6 miles from here. Bulldozers have been up there moving around rocks and dirt, and that is estimated, as we've been mentioning, to reopen on Monday morning. Back here live, this really is a concern. You can see that there is a truck behind the closure. He's been here just to monitor, to make sure that folks don't go up past her. They've had hikers, they've had people trying to get their cars past here, and they say it's just really too dangerous, especially with the rain again falling today. So avoid this area if you can. Use some other routes, and they'll be monitoring it throughout the day.
All right, thank you so much, Cara. We hope everything stays nice and quiet. We are watching red tag homes in the Hollywood Hills that face the threat of saturated hillslides.
Kcal News reporter Tina Patel live in the Hollywood Hills with a look at what's going on there. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning. Well, the rain is continuing to fall, and we were just watching as a driver kind of drove down Flicker Way, pausing right here to look up at the hillside and see if they could see any movement. We can't see any movement right now, but what we can see is the damage from the last storm that came through here just last week. There's some siding from where the mud and debris came and hit the back of this home, again, just a few days ago. Let me show you some video from Kcal, because 3 homes here on Flicker Way were actually red tagged, after the rain that moved in last weekend, too much debris came off of that hillside, caused damage to the back of the homes, and they just said, the building and safety inspectors said that these homes were not safe to be occupied right now. So the fortunate thing is no one was hurt when they had those slides, but now that we are getting more rain, people who live in this area, in this neighborhood, they're very concerned that the hills might, crumble even a little bit more. We had a chance to talk to somebody with the fire department. Here's what he wanted people to know.
We don't want people to be unnecessarily worried or concerned. However, take appropriate precautions, especially if you live in an area where there's steep hillsides. We're going to put additional boots on the ground that are swift water rescue trained to ensure that we can quickly respond to any problems.
Hopefully there won't be any issues where people need to be rescued, but as we come back out here live, you can see that some of the homeowners in this area have gotten sandbags. They've put them in areas to try to keep any water or mud that does flow from getting into their homes. Again, the rain has been coming steadily down all morning, so people here really going to be watching the hillsides, hoping that it doesn't cause the hills to move, but just going to be alert and ready if in case something does happen, in case they need to leave. We'll send it back to you.
It's the best thing to be on alert for whatever happens. Tina, thank you so much. California's insurance crisis is getting worse. It's becoming more difficult and more expensive to insure your home and cars.
The recent storms plus California's fire threat have many homeowners struggling to get insurance, and that's impacting the housing market in Southern California.
It's really become a disaster, and it's somewhat affected the values of homes north of Sunset and in the hillside areas. Maybe I shouldn't say affected the values. It's made it a lot harder and takes a lot longer to sell the property.
One expert in the insurance industry says Americans are seeing a roughly 10 to 12% increase in their homeowners insurance rates, and auto rates are going up even more.
Well, the IRS is reminding those who didn't file their returns in 2020 that there is still time to claim money if they have it. The agency says about 940,000 people in the U.S. are still owed a collective $1 billion. Those people have until May 17th to submit tax returns for a refund from 2020. The average refund is around $930. All right, it's 8:35 now. Coming up on Kcal News at 8 a.m. There are less than 2 weeks before the solar eclipse. And if you are planning on getting a glimpse, there are some safety tips you want to keep in mind.
And it's a dog lover's dream.
It is.
Yes, how Goldie Palooza is bringing together dozens of golden retrievers and their owners. You won't want to miss this coming up.
It's going to be cute.
Welcome back. Goldie Palooza, it is a dog lover's dream. Like mine. An event where dozens of golden retrievers and their owners come together in Orange County. We have the president of the Southern California Golden Retriever Rescue, Liz Miller. We also have Agata Mejias, who is here with Chase and Chester. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for coming here in the rain. I have to say, this is just the best day of my life, having you guys here with the dogs in studio. We're talking about Goldie Palooza. It's happening next weekend. Tell me, how did this event get started?
So this event got started several years ago with a Golden Retriever meetup group that, they had the obvious love for Golden Retrievers and they wanted to do something more, something to help the rescues. So they said, let's do a festival. So Goldie Palooza was born. And we had the first event back in 2017.
And it's hundreds, right, of golden retrievers?
Yes, in fact.
Almost 1,000
Almost 1,000.
1 year?
Yes, almost 1,000 last year. So we had over 900. We really want to beat that this year because actually another event in Australia, the Gold Rush has the title right now with 1,278 Goldens.
Beat it
so
this
let's
year.
exceed that this year for sure.
It is just, I've been the last 2 years, and it is just a day of complete happiness.
It is.
How I feel is the best way to describe it. To see all of those dogs in one place is very cool. So there's a lot to do during Goldie Palooza, right? I mean, can you explain some of the things and some of the sponsors that come?
Sure. So we have a lot of activities. So you can actually bring your dog and get like sports AKC titles earned. We have rattlesnake avoidance training to keep your dog safe, free pet CPR and pet first aid courses. So there's a lot of fun activities, a DJ and a costume contest, and every year the dogs are absolutely adorable. It's so much fun. So there's lots to do.
They are. I can attest to that. And this is all to benefit the Southern California Golden Retriever Rescue. Tell us where the money goes.
Okay, so the money goes, Southern California Golden Retriever Rescue now hosts the event as of last year. And so all the money raised, and in past events, we've raised $100,000 that has been donated to rescues for Southern California Golden Retriever Rescue. One of the beneficiaries this year is also going to be Golden Bond Rescue of Oregon. In the past, we've donated to the Golden Retriever Club of Greater Los Angeles Rescue, Golden Retriever Acre Senior Sanctuary in Houston after they were really impacted by the hurricane, Golden Retriever Rescue of Puerto Rico. So we just want to keep giving that money to help save Golden Retrievers.
One thing that I think is so unique about this event too is that it's people coming from all over the country. I think last year there were people from Oregon, some people road tripped from Texas. Talk about the impact that this event has on not just Southern California.
Yeah, so I think that this was the very first fundraiser of its kind. And so we get people, we have Golden Retriever families coming from all over the United States this year. In fact, we even have attendees coming from Canada, from Brazil and Mexico.
Very cool. And lastly, before we go, I want you to describe the feeling and the vibe of the day, because I just think that it's so fun to bring all these people together that have the same breed. And there's also dogs. I think last year there was like corgis. I mean, anyone can come.
Any breed. All breeds are welcome. Absolutely.
All breeds are welcome.
The only thing is we have a group picture where we get all the Golden Retrievers only. But other than that, all breeds are welcome. And I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, I was just wondering,
the feeling.
I wanted you just to describe the feeling and the vibe, and also I want you to mention how people can get tickets too.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, the vibe is really a Golden Retriever. I mean, it is pure happiness. It's pure joy, and to have so many dogs and people in one place and everybody getting along and having fun, it's really just constant excitement the whole day. But you can get tickets online pre-sale for $10 per person. Kids under 12 are free, as are dogs, but the online pre-sale tickets are only available through tomorrow, but you can show up at the event and get your ticket at the door for $15.
Okay, and don't forget there's also a costume contest
Yes.
with that. So people get very creative. I haven't dressed up my golden in the years past. I think I'm going to try this year. But people get very creative with some of the costumes. So want to keep that in mind too if you're planning to go.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for coming today, especially again in the rain. Chase and Chester, look at that hat. I mean, that is just so cute. You cannot get any better than that, and they're so well behaved. So thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you so much for having us.
We hope to beat the record. I think we will.
Yes, so come join us.
We will. Okay, you can find out all the information on Goldie Palooza. That's on our website, kcalnews.com/SoonOnTV. Ladies, we'll send it back to you.
No, don't send it back to us. Send it back to Chase and Chester. They're so cute. All right, guys, we have more coming up on Kcal News. It's 8:44 now, but what could top that? We do have to talk about the weather, though. Snow already causing trouble in Northern California, where traffic came to a near standstill on Interstate 80.
And a rare celestial event happening in the sky very soon, but seeing it fully won't be cheap. How much tourists can expect to spend if they're visiting the path of totality? We are continuing to track the movement of this morning's storm. Stay with us for the very latest from meteorologist Alex Biston when we come back.
BMW iX is electricity in its ultimate form. An elegant
I really do look out for is like black ice. You know, it's unavoidable, but you know, you just got to drive slower than normal. You can't text, of course, but like, you know, just listen to music, vibe out, just hang out. You know, you're not going anywhere.
Vibe out, hang out, not a bad idea. Now, the heaviest snowfall is expected through tomorrow. All right, I don't know if we can get Alex to calm down right now. After the dogs were in here, we're all just going nuts.
I know that she's forgotten about the rain, the storm, everything. You were in golden retriever heaven, I know.
And I have a little bit of hair on my on my
It's That's
screen.
okay. Chase and Chester
I
wanted you to be
roller
with you.
in my purse, but I haven't really had a second to use it. So just excuse me if I've got some dog hair on my skirt. All right, good morning, everybody. We are looking at a very powerful system. It's a late season storm, cold storm system that is bringing us the wet weather this morning. You are probably waking up to it because this rain is widespread, and our radar is going to show you exactly where the rain is. And you know what? A lot of it is over Santa Clarita and downtown Los Angeles. Guess what? Even areas of Ventura County getting a little bit of a break, but it is coming down steady across the San Gabriel Valley from Pasadena to West Covina and La Habra too. Steady rainfall across Lakewood, now pushing into Anaheim along the 15 freeway as you make your way into Lake Elsinore, along the 215 in Paris. And guess what? Up in the mountains, that turns into snowfall. So Wrightwood and Big Bear waking up to snow this morning, and then rainfall up toward our desert community. So really the most widespread rain is going to be this morning. By this afternoon, it will become scattered showers, and temperatures will struggle to reach low 60s this afternoon. So it is going to be cool. And I know you're waking up and trying to plan your day, trying to plan your weekend, and I want to show you when the rain will be in your neighborhood. So again, we're going to continue to see that steady rainfall over Hemet and Temecula, Palm Springs as we head into around the 11 o'clock hour into lunchtime. Then it is scattered showers. We might even get a little bit of sunshine, but don't be fooled. That's going to help destabilize the atmosphere, bring us the chance of thunderstorms too. That chance will continue for isolated thunderstorms as we head into the overnight hours and of course into tomorrow too. So I know you're probably hoping Easter Sunday is going to be dry. Unfortunately, we will still have rain in the forecast as we head into Sunday, and then this system moves out of here as we head into Monday. So the good news is we're getting rid of it, and then by the middle of the week we'll talk warmer temperatures. But up in the mountains until Sunday afternoon, we have that winter storm warning, so heavy snow that is above 5,000 feet. That is also across the I-5 corridor through the Grapevine and of course into the Santa Barbara and Ventura County mountains. So here's that area of low pressure. This is going to just move to the south of us and then off to the east as we head into Monday and Tuesday. High pressure is going to build behind that, so we have some warmer days in store and more sunshine too. So that is going to peak on Wednesday, and then temperatures will fall again. We're watching another storm system that is expected to impact us as we head into Friday, possibly into next weekend. We'll continue to fine tune the details for you as we get a little closer to that. Otherwise, today and tomorrow, below average temperatures, chance of thunderstorms today and tomorrow. By Monday, we dry out. Temperatures will rise to the upper 60s across the Inland Empire. We've got upper 70s as we head into Wednesday. Lots of sunshine midweek, and then the clouds thicken up. We've got that chance of rain on Friday. That's your next weather forecast. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
We are less than 2 weeks away from the total solar eclipse. It'll be visible from Texas to New England.
And here in LA, we'll only be able to see it partially, but some people are traveling to places in the path of totality in order to catch a glimpse. Kcal News correspondent Robbie Owens shows us how that's affecting tourism.
From restaurants in Little Rock, Arkansas,
Bringing in extra food, of course. Number one, we're getting more.
to stores in Burlington, Vermont.
Gas stations, restaurants, that kind of thing, they're going to be packed.
Cities and towns in the path of a rare total solar eclipse are preparing to welcome millions of people who will be looking up at the sky and also looking for places to stay and eat.
It'll be a long day, for sure. It'll be all hands on deck.
For those thinking of traveling to an eclipse location, get ready for blinding prices. Average flights to Little Rock are more than $600, Buffalo more than $700, and a ticket to Montreal is nearly $1,200. Coming to the Dallas-Fort Worth area will cost even more. Prices for flights landing here the day before the eclipse are almost $1,900. There is a cheaper option. Fly to Nashville for around $340 and then drive 3 hours west to the path of totality. However, lodging won't be cheap.
We've seen a surge in demand for hotels.
Hopper lead economist Haley Berg says some cities are seeing prices 500% higher than normal. A stay in Buffalo the night before the eclipse is more than $900.
Consider staying at hotels outside of the path of totality and driving into the path in the afternoon on Monday. That way you'll pay a lower rate but can still experience the eclipse.
Berg says if you want to go, make those plans now before the rates go even higher. Robbie Owens, Fort Worth, Texas.
And if you're planning on getting a glimpse of the eclipse, it is important to use the right protection.
Yeah, ophthalmologists say you should not look directly at the sun during that time. It can take just seconds to permanently damage your vision. Back in 2017, doctors in New York treated a patient who stared at the partial eclipse for 20 seconds without protection.
This is the retina. These are the cells that actually still work. And then down here, you can see this crescent of loss where the retina does not work. The crescent that is burned into her retina, the patient sees as black in her visual field. That visual deficit that she has will never go away.
Wow. So if you want to watch the eclipse, make sure your glasses are labeled ISO 12312-2 and don't use binoculars or special lenses to magnify the eclipse.
And if you're looking for a pair of eclipse sunglasses, well, some retailers have you covered. Starting Monday, you can get 2 pairs of glasses per family at Warby Parker locations nationwide. Jenny's Ice Cream is also giving away 4 pairs with the purchase of one of their 4 flavors that celebrate the eclipse.
All right.
All right, it's 8:56 now. We have lots more coming up on Kcal News at 9 a.m. A look at a terrifying crash on the 101. A driver spins out of control and then gets hit by another car. A look at the dangers out on our roads this morning.
And the rain is putting a major damper on some people's Easter plans. How some of SoCal's biggest events are changing plans. Stay with us into our 9 a.m. hour. The latest from meteorologist Alex Biston on the storm's movement when we return.
There are
Streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. Well, the rain is coming down and hitting different parts of SoCal. Here's a look at the conditions from Duarte to San Bernardino. The slick roads are causing dangerous driving conditions. And take a look at this terrifying crash. A car spun out on the 101 freeway in Van Nuys around 2 this morning near the Woodman exit. It ended up in the fast lane against the center divider, and you can see the driver turn on the blinkers, but another car did drive right into that disabled car. Emergency crews showed up a few moments later, and thankfully no one was seriously hurt.
And another violent crash, this one in Long Beach. This gray car was entering the southbound 110 freeway when it spun out on the on-ramp and went down an embankment. Thankfully, the guardrail stopped it from ending up in the middle of the lanes. No one was hurt.
Well, let's get over to next weather meteorologist Alex Biston. We're showing all this chaos caused by the wet roads and the storm's movement. So we know everybody wants more information on the storm, Alex.
And Sheba and Rachel, it's hard to see some of those images. You really want to take it slow on the roads. I know we say it every time, but yes, it is raining, it is wet, it is slick out there. And our live radar shows us exactly where to pinpoint that heavier rain. That is moving specifically across the San Gabriel Valley this morning from Glendale to Sierra Madre, Glendora. If you are waking up in Pomona or Rancho Cucamonga, you are seeing the rain. But then once we head up into the mountains to San Gabriel's, it is about the snowfall there. Otherwise, we are seeing snow in Big Bear and rain falling in Yucaipa right along the 10 freeway along Cabazon. And then it's a cloudy sky in areas like Palm Springs. Guess what? We're getting a little bit of a break from that steady rainfall across Ventura County. We're seeing showers out towards Santa Barbara this morning. Today, it is about the steady rainfall this morning that turns into showers this afternoon. Temperatures this weekend cool in the 60s both Saturday and Sunday. Chance of thunderstorms today and into tomorrow too. When does this clear out? When is it going to get warmer? I will answer that question coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Alex. Downtown LA also got a downpour overnight, but the areas of most concern are where there are landslide dangers. That's where we have Kcal News reporter Tina Patel. She's in Hollywood Hills, where 12 homes have been red tagged after a recent hill collapse. And Malibu Canyon Road is closed ahead of the storm. That closure from PCH to Payuma Road started at 7 last night. That's expected to last until Monday morning.
Topanga Canyon is also facing the threat of mudslides this morning. Kcal News reporter Cara Finstrom is live there now, where there is concern among residents. How's it looking, Cara?
So far, so good, Rachel. But, you know, the storm is just adding more water, more weight to hillsides that are already unstable. And already this stretch of Topanga Canyon Boulevard up there is closed indefinitely. You can see the road closure, and security is here making sure nobody goes up because it's been shifting for a couple weeks. Take a look. The sliding started on March 9th during heavy rain. A geologist has been monitoring this since, with folks having to divert around the closure between Pacific Coast Highway and Grandview. Portions are buried under rocks and dirt. Caltrans says engineers found a huge crack in the hillside, and this past Thursday, geologists sensed even more movement. We did speak with a woman who works at a 7-Eleven here at the base of the closure, and she says having a couple major roads impacted at the same time here in Malibu has been tough.
Like hard as far as getting back and forth. I usually take Malibu Canyon, but it keeps closing down. With it being closed down, usually I would take Topanga, but you can't do that no more. So now we're having to go down Cannon, which has taken about another 20-30 minutes to get into work. You know, it's affecting our cells as well.
And this is a view from Kcal of that other major Malibu closure that she's talking about. This is Malibu Canyon Road between Pacific Coast Highway and Payuma Road, just about 6 miles from here. And you can see bulldozers have been moving rocks and dirt in that area. It is slated to reopen on Monday morning. Back out here live, just want to give you a feel for the proximity of all this. That's the closure behind us, and you can see the gas station where we just spoke with that woman right here, and that is PCH. So this is closed all the way down to PCH. If you're going to be out and about today, just know you can't come through this way. The other major artery impacted as well, so plan accordingly. So far, so good, though. No reports of any fresh problems this morning.
Appreciate the heads up. Cara, thank you so much. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office issued an evacuation order for people living near the site of this landslide over Highway 150 in Santa Paula. The original slide happened in February. A huge chunk of a hillside came down, then barely missed a horse barn. Well, now authorities say a new section of the hill started to slide this week. Highway 150 remains blocked and buried under feet of dirt and debris.
We are watching red-tagged homes in the Hollywood Hills that face the threat of saturated hillsides.
That's right. Kcal News reporter Tina Patel is live there now with a look at conditions. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning. At least 3 homes here on Flicker Way have been red tagged. And when you're looking from the front of the property, you really can't tell why. But if you look directly behind the homes, you can see just how close the hillsides are to the back of these homes. And you can actually see some of the damage that was left behind from the last storm last weekend. Now let me show you some video from Kcal, because that is what happened when we got all that rain last weekend. Some of this hillside gave way. Mud and boulders came down, damaging 3 homes. Inspectors with building and safety came out. They said that 3 homes had to be red tagged, that they were just unsafe for people to be here. Fortunately, no one was injured. But now that there is more rain coming down, people who live in this area are very much on alert. They're worried whether more of the hillside might come down and maybe cause even more damage. We talked to a few people in this neighborhood yesterday.
Oh my God, I felt so sorry for the owners because I don't know if they'll have to tear down the houses. I don't know how much dirt has come down that hill.
You just always have to be prepared. The weather can be so extreme.
Yeah, and this morning we've had periods of heavy rain. It's pretty much been steady, even though it's lightened up a bit. And as we look down on this hillside, you can see a lot of water flowing. So that is what people need to be aware of, is even if they're not right up against a hillside, there is a lot of water here. There is always that chance of flooding and debris flow. So really just best to keep your eyes open. And if you are right up against a hillside where there's been movement in the past, just maybe want to keep an eye and make sure that you have yourself prepared in case you do need to leave, because we really just don't know how much rain we're going to get as the day goes on. We'll send it back to you.
Good reminder. Tina, thank you so much. And we'll be tracking the storm's movement throughout the morning. Stay with Kcal News for the very latest. Plus, we're always streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. 9:07 on your Saturday morning. Kcal News at 9 a.m. is just getting started. Everyone's Easter plans are facing the threat of rain. A look at what some of SoCal's biggest events are doing to pivot.
And in sports, our Jamie Maggio has the story of a local nonprofit that's paving the way for thousands of foster kids to help them overcome the odds.
And a live look at Santa Monica. You can see rain is on the lens there. This is the picture pretty much all across Southern California today. Thank you so much for waking up on this wet and soggy morning and joining us here on Kcal News on this Saturday morning. Welcome back.
Well, Easter came early for those in need. The LA Mission held a special event in downtown yesterday.
Yeah, they served hot meals and provided grooming services and clothes to help change the lives of the city's unhoused population.
We have a great team here at the LA Mission that loves to just put in a lot of hard work to organize, not only to bring clothes to the community, but to bring it in a way and a fashion that's like dignified. Like it's a shopping mall in here. It's a lot of fun.
More than 1,500 people were served at this year's event, and some celebrities showed up to come and help serve. And the rain is putting a major damper on everyone's Easter plans across the region. The Rose Bowl canceled its annual Egg Bowl and Bunny Brunch, replacing it with the Hop into Spring event on Tuesday. Santa Anita Park is moving its weekend egg hunt to the following Sunday, and Huntington Beach has postponed Saturday's Family Fun Day until Saturday, April 27th.
And that brings us to our question of the day. We want to know, how are you celebrating Easter? Let us know if the storm is raining on your parade.
Send us your answers at Kcal News on X and on our Kcal News Facebook page. As always, we'll be sharing your answers throughout the morning. And as always, we're going to check in with meteorologist Alex Bisson, who is tracking the storm and also the timeline of when the bulk of it is moving in.
All right, unfortunately, we are having some issues with Alex's microphone, but you see she's watching those raindrops on the camera. She'll have a timeline of that storm coming up for us in just a bit. Okay, so how many kids face roadblocks that can get in the way of their success? But the nonprofit Echoes of Hope is looking to solve that.
Our Jamie Maggio has more on how the group is sparking hope in thousands of foster kids nationwide.
I think that there's no greater gift to yourself than to give yourself to another. And I know Luke has learned that. Just being married to me, it's, as a couple, it's contagious.
Stacia Robitaille says it was soon after she began dating her now husband, LA Kings president and Hockey Hall of Famer Luke Robitaille, that she convinced him to work with kids.
So I looked at Luke after a couple years and I said, honey, I gotta follow through with my dream. So we started Echoes of Hope, and that was almost 20 years ago now.
The nonprofit helps at-risk and foster children reach their full potential by bringing a higher education within reach.
Instinctively think, you know, you're 18, you're on your own, you're an adult. A lot of the foster youth, they leave their homes with a trash bag or a backpack if they're lucky.
There are approximately 60,000 children in the state's foster care system, but the National Foster Youth Institute found that just 3 to 4% of former foster children obtain a 4-year degree. The Robitailles are working to change that.
Well, I'll start with my Javon. So he was my first youth. I mean, he was in a chair and he turned up and he looked at me and we both just got the biggest smile. It was like, in 2 weeks, he was calling me mom.
It was just an instant connection, and it wasn't like I was getting connected to another organization. It was I was getting connected to love, to family, and to peers who wanted better for their life.
Javon Wilkes is the first foster person to go through the Echoes of Hope program.
When people take the time to show that they care, and they're taking the time to invest in another person, how is that investment life-changing?
Well, when you're a young person that comes from the foster care system, when you've experienced homelessness like I have, there's an absence that you're born into. And when you feel it, it's definitely uncomfortable. But it's the greatest thing in the world when you know somebody cares about your well-being to thrive and not just survive.
And everybody deserves a chance to thrive.
Yeah, and so touching to see how his life has changed. Great story.
Through that organization. All right, we are talking about rain, though. Alex is standing among the raindrops this morning. Let's talk about this weekend forecast.
Let's talk about it. Yes, I am back and here to tell you everything you need to know to prepare you for the weekend, of course, and beyond, too. We're looking live over Santa Monica this morning and seeing some raindrops on the lens out there. So we're still talking about the threat of showers as we head into this afternoon and tomorrow, too. Why is that? What's going on? Well, we've got this area of low pressure. You can see it spinning. It looks like a comma here. It is spinning just off of the coastline, and that front is moving through Southern California this morning. This is exactly what we forecasted. It is happening this morning. This is in real time, our radar. So once we zoom you in and show you that the rain is widespread, right? I mean, from Anaheim to Costa Mesa, down the 5 freeway into San Diego County, Lake Elsinore, Woodcrest, San Bernardino, feeling the rain right now. And then up in the mountains, it is about the snowfall. Also seeing that rain in the desert this morning. If you're traveling maybe to Las Vegas along the 15 from Victorville to Barstow, you will be battling some of that wet weather. The flood watch, that is with us through Sunday afternoon. So flooding is a concern, especially with some of those heavier downpours when we have the chance of thunderstorms that enters the forecast as we head into this afternoon and into tomorrow too. So look for the chance of that. Showers this afternoon, chance of thunderstorms. Showers will continue into Easter Sunday, so you will want to keep the rain gear handy with you all weekend. Finally, we dry out by Monday, and we will be talking about warmer temperatures by Wednesday. Guess what? Nearing 80 degrees, but not this weekend. Temperatures will be well below average, 50s and 60s. That heavier rain, the steady rain, is going to move out by around 11:30, 12 o'clock. Still the threat of showers as we head into this afternoon. And you know what? You might walk outside and say, actually, I'm seeing a little bit of sun, but don't be fooled, because that is going to help destabilize the atmosphere. We've got that chance of thunderstorms with that. Snowfall still up into the Ventura County mountains heading into this evening. Still snow showers possible overnight into the mountain communities. Rainfall from Chino to Temecula tomorrow at around 10 a.m. So showers will linger through Sunday, and then watch what happens as we head through Monday. We will dry things out. Up in the mountains, temperatures in the 30s today and tomorrow. Clearing out as we head into Monday, more sunshine with temperatures in the 40s. So here's a breakdown day by day of what to expect. A little bit of a roller coaster here, right? Because we've got temperatures in the 60s. It is cool. It is windy. It is wet with thunderstorms possible through Easter. By Monday, we'll be closer to average. Tuesday, Wednesday, temperatures rise to the upper 70s. So a little slice of possibly summer, right? I mean, feeling warmer temperatures, and then we'll cool things off Thursday, Friday, with a chance of rain increasing as we head into next weekend. Back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. It is 9:18 on your Saturday morning. There is still much more ahead on Kcal News at 9 a.m. The state's insurance crisis is only getting worse. Why it's becoming harder for some people to get coverage.
And in an era of constant cyber hacks and security breaches, it's more important than ever to protect your data. A cybersecurity expert has some tips ahead of World Backup Day.
Remember, Dad, we've got Greenlight Infinity. You can see my location in real time,
World Backup Day is tomorrow, and as we've seen in the last few months, making sure your data and information are protected is more important than ever. Dr. Sean McAlmont, cybersecurity expert and Ningio CEO, joins us now with more. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Doctor, now you have quite the cybersecurity background. Explain for those who don't know, including myself, what exactly is World Backup Day?
You know, it's actually a great reminder to all of us that we manage a lot of data that is digital today.
That's right.
You know, over the last 20 years, I think we've moved to less paper, no more physical pictures.
That's right.
So we have files, both personally and professionally at work, that need to be protected. It's tremendous value in that data. And so World Backup Day is a great reminder to all that we need to protect that information.
Absolutely. And what are some things people can do to protect their devices as well as their personal data?
We hear all the time that there are breaches that happen to businesses that have caused companies to pay billions of dollars in ransom, but this also happens to individuals. You know, and so your bank accounts are being wiped out. Personal data is out there on the World Wide Web and the dark web. And so what we found is there are a number of things you can do, starting with looking at the emails that come into your email inbox.
Okay.
If you are getting an email or you're expecting one from Chase, for example, your bank, but the email address doesn't have a Chase extension, then that's a warning. That's probably a fraudulent email. So just that awareness alone is very, very important.
If you see that email, should you click on it or just delete it?
I typically delete it.
Okay.
You know, I don't even go in because you just never know. You could click something in there that could cause even more damage. Yeah. And so that's the first and foremost. Secondly, just on the theme of backup, you know, we have to protect our information. And so there are a number of ways to do that, whether it's using the backup options in your digital devices or your laptop, external backup storage,
like a hard drive.
Yeah, like a hard drive that's external, or cloud storage. Those are all easy options. You can search how to do it, and you can do that tomorrow, today.
Yeah, good point. Dr. McAlmont, what is it looking like right now in cybersecurity space?
Billions of dollars being lost. And I think it's picking up steam. But what we found under that number is about 3 out of 4 breaches happen because of the human element. So it's somebody clicking a bad link within a business environment, letting bad actors in and holding the information ransom. When they hold that information ransom, companies are forced to either work around it. If they can't do that, their business is impacted and they end up paying a ransom. And so billions of dollars are paid each year, which can devastate a business.
Absolutely.
So at Ningio, what we do is we train the human element. We are training adults in the workplace. As adults, we're busy. There's a certain way we like to learn, and so we make flexible episodes. They're animated. We use Hollywood writers and Hollywood voices, and they are 5 minutes long.
Okay.
So you can engage in them, and we send them out every month.
Yeah, it's so easy to understand.
Yes.
I like that. And Doctor, how has this all changed in the last few years because of all the new technology?
We're a technology-driven, it's a technology-driven economy, technology-driven businesses, and technology continues to become a bigger part of what we do on a daily basis. So because of that, the vulnerabilities are increasing as well. And so again, we try to train to not only awareness, but in the background, we collect data. And so when people click bad links, we can see what vulnerability they had. Was it because of greed or curiosity, social, something familiar to you, or urgency? There are many reasons we might click a bad link, and we try to also train on those vulnerabilities so we change their behavior and reduce risk.
Yeah, so important, such great information. Dr. McAlmont, thank you so much for being here with us and really educating us about World Backup Day.
Oh, thank you, Rachel, thank you.
All right, and you can find this segment on our website, kcalnews.com/SeenOnTV. A good reminder for us all.
Yeah, we needed those reminders.
Time right now is 9:25. Ahead on Kcal News at 9 a.m. Just in time, while snow is causing a major traffic backup in Big Bear, we'll have the latest on the blustery conditions.
And we continue to track the movement of this morning's storm. Stay with us. The latest from meteorologist Alex Piston when we get back.
Really love about Kcal is that we have cameras everywhere. We want to show you a visual of what is happening, and I'm here to help.
This is Kcal News Mornings.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, March 30th. I'm Rachel Kim.
And I'm Sheba Turk. Welcome to Kcal News at 9 and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. We have some new video for you this morning of snow causing a major traffic backup in Big Bear. Take a look. Dozens of cars are stuck on Highway 18 between Running Springs and Big Bear Dam. This growing backup could make it difficult for snow plows to clear up the highway.
2 more crashes on the 91 freeway in Corona. These happened near the 71 freeway interchange. The first was around 7:25. Then just 5 minutes later, another crash involving a white car. These accidents slowed down traffic quite a bit, but things eventually cleared up. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt.
All right, all these weather impacts, so we need to talk about the weather that's causing it. Meteorologist Alex Biston has the latest on this storm. Alex.
And you know, Sheba and Rachel, we don't want to see that. Okay, really, please be careful on the roads this morning. We have been watching the radar all morning. Flooding is a concern this weekend. Of course, the most widespread rain is this morning, and then it will be showers as we head into this afternoon. Want to show you a little bit of what we can expect over the next 45 minutes to an hour across Orange County. So this batch of rain that is just offshore. So again, when we see the yellows, the oranges, that's the indication that the rainfall rates are a little bit heavier. So that's going to continue to come on shore over the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. So Orange County, if you're waking up in Fullerton, the rain is going to continue over the next few hours, steady rainfall. Temperatures in Fullerton in the low 50s. Visibility is down too. We've got the clouds out there, the cool temperatures in San Bernardino, 50s today, tomorrow. Thunderstorms in the picture tomorrow, and then by Monday we clear out. That's the good news, and we'll warm up too. We're talking 70s as we head into the middle of the week. So those details coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Alex. We want to talk about some serious concerns about mudslides from homeowners and commuters across Southern California as this storm brings more rain to those soaked hillsides.
Yeah, Malibu Canyon Road is closed ahead of the storm. The closure from PCH to Piuma Road started at 7 o'clock last night and is expected to last until Monday morning. And in Topanga Canyon, they've been hit hard by mudslides, and geologists say the ground there has been shifting again. Let's go right to Kcal News reporter Cara Finster for the latest on the conditions there. Good morning, Cara.
Good morning, Rachel. The rain continuing to come down. It's been steady, and the worry is the extra stress that may put on Topanga Canyon Boulevard up here, because the hillsides above have been sliding down, as you just mentioned, and there are some continuing big worries. So the stretch just above us now closed indefinitely. Take a look. The sliding up there started on March 9th during heavy rain. A geologist has been monitoring it since then, with folks having to divert around the closure between Pacific Coast Highway and Grandview, portions buried under rocks and dirt. Caltrans says engineers did find a huge crack in the hillside, and the fear is it might widen. This past Thursday, geologists said they had sensed even more movement, so at this point they haven't even started tackling cleanup. We spoke with a commuter who made it a point to stop at a gas station where we are that has been impacted by all this.
I sometimes drive up PCH to Malibu from Marina Del Rey, and so I notice with Topanga Canyon closed, no one's going to stop at the 7-Eleven. They're not going to stop for gas, and I feel sorry for them because then they're just sitting here. So there's a lot of gas stations along here, but I thought, you know what, I'll fill up here.
And this is an aerial view of the other major Malibu closure we've been talking about, Malibu Canyon Road between Pacific Coast Highway and Piuma Road. About 6 miles from here, bulldozers have been up there moving the rocks and dirt around. They have started tackling all that, and it is estimated that that will reopen on Monday morning. But back here live, this is an indefinite closure. And just to give you a feel for how seriously they're taking the hazards up there, that is some security that's been parked here all morning long. They've had some people trying to get around this, trying to get a shortcut through, trying to see what's come down from the hillsides. And they're really discouraging that because they say it's just unstable, can shift, and the extra rain is not good. But as of this point today, no word of any fresh problems. Of course, we'll keep you updated.
All right, Cara, thank you so much. We're also keeping an eye on red-tagged homes in the Hollywood Hills. They're facing the threat of saturated hillsides this morning.
Kcal News reporter Tina Patel live there now. And Tina, how are things looking so far?
You know, the rain has been steady this morning. We haven't seen any new problems, but as you said, there were 3 homes that were ragtagged here on Flicker Way last weekend when we had that last storm. And if you look up on the hillside, you can actually see some of the damage from the time that the hill did give way. So that's what everybody is keeping an eye on to see if any more of that hill moves today with the rain we're getting right now. We have some video from Kcal, and it shows these homes are right up against the hill. And unfortunately, the ground has been saturated from so many rainstorms that we've had this year that's just never getting a chance to dry out. It's unstable. And there were some rocks and boulders that came down, causing damage to the back of at least 3 homes. Building and safety inspectors said that it was just not safe for anybody to be in the homes right now. Fortunately, no one was injured when that all happened last weekend. But again, now that this weekend is here and we're getting more rain, people are concerned. We talked to somebody with the fire department and asked them what people in neighborhoods like this should know.
We don't want people to be unnecessarily worried or concerned. However, take appropriate precautions, especially if you live in an area where there's steep hillsides. We're going to put additional boots on the ground that are swift water rescue trained to ensure that we can quickly respond to any problems.
And if you are living in a place where there's been flooding before, you might want to do what this homeowner did, which is put some sandbags out to maybe direct the water if it does start to come out. Again, we've had steady rain this morning, no big problems, but people in this neighborhood are definitely kind of on alert and watching to see just how much rain comes down and how heavy it is. They're hoping that they'll be able to get through this storm without any more damage. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, understand their concerns. Tina, thank you so much. And we are tracking the storm's movement throughout the morning. Stay with Kcal News for the very latest. Plus, we're always streaming on CBS News Los Angeles.
Well, California's insurance crisis is only getting worse. It's becoming more difficult and more expensive to insure your home and cars.
The recent storms, plus California's fire threat, have many homeowners struggling to get insurance, and that's impacting the housing market in Southern California.
It's really become a disaster, and it's somewhat affected the values of homes north of Sunset and in the hillside areas. Maybe I shouldn't say affected the values. It's made it a lot harder and takes a lot longer to sell the property.
Well, one expert in the insurance industry says Americans are seeing a roughly 10 to 12% increase in their homeowners' insurance rates, and auto rates are going up even more.
All right, it's 9:36 now. Still to come on Kcal News at 9 a.m. There are less than 2 weeks before the solar eclipse, and if you're planning on getting a glimpse, there are some safety tips to think about.
Then more than 3,000 food and beverage enthusiasts will gather at the Rose Bowl for the 7th annual Masters of Taste. We're getting a preview right here in studio. There they are, coming up next.
What does it take to get your best night
Well, more than 3,000 food and beverage enthusiasts will gather at the Rose Bowl for the 7th annual Masters of Taste in a little over a week. And to give us a preview of what they can expect is Pez Cantina and Pez Coastal Kitchen's executive chef Brett Thompson and co-owner Lucy Thompson Ramirez with us this morning with some delicious food to get us ready for the event. Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
It's good to be here.
Yes, before we get to all your yummies, we want to talk about the event. You guys are the hosts for 2024.
That's right. Yes. Want to lead it off?
Sure. So we are very proud. This is the 7th year. We've been participating in the show since the initiation, which was almost 10 years ago now. And all of the proceeds go to help the Union Station Homeless Services, which is really amazing. Awesome. And you can rest assured that 100% of the proceeds go towards this while enjoying amazing food. There's over 100 masters who will be sampling their food and wines and cocktails, and it's at the Rose Bowl, and it's just fabulous.
Absolutely delicious stuff. You have some beautiful dishes on the table this morning, so give us a little taste of what you brought.
So representing Pez Coastal Kitchen, we've got these black forbidden rice cakes with smoked trout rillette and caviar, pickled shallots. We've got these little nori crisps here with tuna and avocado lebne. And then for something sweet, we've got citrus olive oil cakes with pistachio, mascarpone, and blackberries.
Oh my goodness.
I know, just top things off. And then on the cantina side.
On the Pez Cantina side, we've got, these are our champion tacos. We won a taco contest with these. It's shrimp with the salsa diabla, pickled onions, and they're absolutely fabulous on a squinting tortilla. And then we've got our trio of ceviche tostadas. We have a spicy ahi tuna, a vegan cauliflower ceviche, and an Alaskan cod traditional ceviche here.
Oh my God, this all looks so amazing, guys.
You guys just whipped this up for us.
Yeah,
just
like that.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So what would you recommend that we taste right now? What should we sample?
I want to tell you to go jump into that. That's really delicious. I mean, it's kind of goes with the Saturday morning smoked trout. It's really
Rachel,
good.
that's you, girl. I've had my eye on the cake, and you know what? We need you guys to talk while we eat. So tell us, this all goes to a really good cause. 100% of the proceeds go to charity. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so we've been doing this for it's our 7th year. We're so excited. Actually, the event is on the Rose Bowl, which is it was just so amazing because we're actually on the field, and we've got all of our friends, lots of restaurateurs, also like great spirits, wines, and beer. There's a DJ, there's music. There's gonna be a taco eating contest this year. And it all goes to Union Station Homeless Services, and you know, it's just such a great cause. And being in Pasadena, being in the area, you know, we just love being part of this to make a difference in that. And you know, the success rate is amazing, and the Union Station folks are amazing. It's just great to be to
And I understand 100% of the proceeds go towards them.
And over the years, you guys have raised like $2 million.
Almost $3 million.
You're making a massive difference.
Absolutely, yes. And you can still get your tickets. There's still a few VIP tickets left, mastersoftasteLA.com. And it's going to be a great event. It's on a Sunday, and I think the rain will leave us by then. So
get it out of here. You know, it's really a win-win situation. You know, for you guys get to put your food out there for people to enjoy, and also helping so many people who need the help. The variety of vendors out there. Talk about the different types of cuisines we'll see.
Yeah, so we've got like our friends Agnes, who are also in Pasadena. Emmy Mays, they do great brownies. To Boomtown Brewery downtown. Mezcal 33, they'll be you know, sponsoring and partnering with us as well this year. There's just so much variety out there. So I mean, there's a lot to. Non is a non-alcoholic beverage company as well, so they'll be out there, and there's just something for everybody.
Right.
And it's just fun because for us, it's nice to get out there with all our friends and kind of let loose a little bit and get, you know, just break bread with all of our friends, and then to see, you know, all the community come out and support. It's literally my favorite event of the year. So it's
wonderful. Well, that says a lot, guys. Tell us how we can visit you at Pez when the event's not happening.
Well, Pez Cantina is located in downtown LA on Grand Avenue on Bunker Hill with a beautiful outdoor patio. And we just opened up Pez Coastal Kitchen in Pasadena.
Congratulations.
Yes. One month young right now. We're on Raymond and Union in Old Pasadena. And come see us.
More good food for a great cause. Guys, thank you so much for being with us this morning. You can find all the information on Masters of Taste on our website, kcalnews.com/seen on TV. And we'll be back with more storm coverage right after the break.
The show-stopping
Wet, that is pretty much the scene all across Southern California today. Good morning to our friends in Long Beach and everyone who's watching this morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Kcal News on this Saturday morning. Welcome back.
Well, every Saturday we highlight a pet from Pasadena Humane who's looking for a forever home.
Yes, meet our pet of the weekend, Birdie, a 2-year-old Staffordshire Terrier mix. This sweet little girl might be named Birdie, but we think she'll be a hole-in-one for anyone lucky enough to adopt her. She's an active pup who's already ready to play some fetch or go on a hike, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love some cuddling. Volunteers tell us she is known to nearly knock people over because she can't get close enough to them. So if you're looking for a new bestie, Birdie is your girl. Make her a part of your forever home.
She is so happy and having so much fun.
I think you'd have fun with her, Sheeps.
I do. I love her name is Birdie and she looks like a tanker truck. She's adorable. All right.
Exactly.
We also have some good news. We introduced you to this sweet pup, Triton, last weekend. We fell in love with Triton. Pasadena Humane has let us know he's on a trial adoption run. So hopefully that becomes official soon. We'll keep you updated on if he gets his forever home that makes us so happy.
Triton and Birdie. You know what? I love to see this. I love
We know you do. That's why we put you right next to the dog. Alex, look at you.
I stand at a green screen and you can put anything back here too, right? Hi, Triton. I hope you get adopted.
Hello, Triton.
I know you will.
Give him a little pat on the head.
Pat on the head. Good morning, everybody. Okay, you know what? The big story this morning, it is the wet weather. I want to show you this live look over our Mount Wilson camera. And yeah, we can't even see through the camera because of the snowfall this morning up in the mountain community. So mountains, snow this morning, heavy snow at times. We're talking several feet of snow accumulations above 5,000 feet. 30 degrees this morning. Sunset this evening is just past 7 o'clock. So here's this massive storm system, right? I mean, this front is moving through Southern California. It has brought a widespread rain this morning and will continue to do so over the next few hours. This is the live radar. This is a loop over the past 3 hours so you can see the movement of this system. And I also want to show you that some of the more moderate rainfall that is just offshore is going to be moving into areas like Laguna Beach over the next 45 minutes. So maybe you're waking up in Laguna Beach and you're wondering, is it going to let up? Can I go outside and take a walk? The answer is, well, you're going to get wet if you do so. We are tracking a heavier cell over Costa Mesa right now. We can see that in red. So rainfall rates are closer to a ½ an inch per hour. That is along the 405 freeway again in Costa Mesa. This is a snapshot of how much rain we have seen so far. So you can see that legend right up here. We have seen anywhere from about a ½ of an inch to a ½ an inch of rain. But once this is all said and done, we can see anywhere from 1 to possibly 3 inches of rain. So the system not moving out of here anytime soon. It is going to linger. Now, it's steady this morning and it will taper off into showers as we head into this afternoon. Temperatures struggling to even reach 60 degrees today. So it is going to be cool. It is going to be wet. And I want to show you that again, once the steady rain moves past us, we have the threat of showers heading into this afternoon. Here's 2:30, 3 o'clock, some light rain, but then it could possibly get a little bit heavier as we head into this evening. Here's dinner time tonight, 7:15, and we are seeing some heavier rain across Santa Ana. That moves into areas like Fullerton in the overnight hour. So still this activity happening overnight tonight. By 10:15 tomorrow morning, Easter Sunday, we're dry in some areas, but wet in other areas like the IE. Downtown Los Angeles still seeing the threat of showers as we head into tomorrow. That will continue for most of Easter Sunday, and then by Monday morning, the system finally moves out of here, and we will look at dry conditions as we head into the start of this week. Heavy snow again above 5,000 feet. That's the big story up in the higher elevations as we're seeing the snowfall this morning. We will continue to do so through today and as we head into tomorrow too. Really be careful if you have plans to travel through I-5 through the Grapevine up through Fraser Park. That's where we have that winter storm warning in effect. So again, the system moves out of here. We dry out as we head into the middle of the week. The good news is nearing 80 degrees and then we're watching another system pull through as we head into next week. And so unfortunately, Mother Nature bringing these storms on the weekends. We'll continue to watch that one as we head into Friday and, of course, next weekend, too. Otherwise, nearing 80 degrees by the middle of the week. That's your next weather forecast. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Used car shopping?
We are less than 2 weeks away from the total solar eclipse, and it will be visible from Texas to New England.
Here in LA, we'll only be able to see it partially, but it is important to use the right protection. Ophthalmologists say you shouldn't look directly at the sun during that time. It can take just seconds to permanently damage your vision. Back in 2017, doctors in New York treated a patient who stared at the partial eclipse for 20 seconds without protection.
This is the retina. These are the cells that actually still work. And then down here, you can see this crescent of loss where the retina does not work. The crescent that is burned into her retina, the patient sees as black in her visual field. That visual deficit that she has will never go away.
So if you want to watch the eclipse, make sure your glasses are labeled ISO 12312-2 and don't use binoculars or special lenses to magnify the eclipse.
And if you're looking for a pair of eclipse glasses, some retailers have you covered. Starting Monday, you can get 2 pairs of glasses per family at Warby Parker locations nationwide. Denny's Ice Cream is also giving away 4 pairs with the purchase of one of 4 flavors that celebrate the eclipse. And it's time to share your answers for our question of the day.
Earlier, we asked you, how are you celebrating Easter? Well, our viewer Lori tells us her family tradition continues, rain or shine. They're going to have a picnic at the park with a rousing game of kickball. She says her motto is hope for the best.
And our viewer Ranisha says she's dyeing Easter eggs with her kiddos, and tomorrow they'll have a big family dinner with an Easter egg hunt. That sounds perfect.
Yes, and our viewer Pete says he's having a small family gathering and an indoor Easter egg hunt. That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Thank you all so much for sharing all of your answers this morning. Our next question of the day is next Saturday on our sister station, CBS 2 at 6 a.m. And let's get one last check on this storm's movement with Alex Bisson. Alex, you know, sometimes storms hit certain parts of Southern California, but this one, everyone is impacted.
Everybody, yes, because the rain is most widespread this morning, and then it is going to taper off into showers as we head into this afternoon, but that is when we introduce the chance of thunderstorms too. So we could still have some heavier rain moving forward today and as we head into tomorrow too. So temperatures will be well below average. I mean, we're talking 50s and low 60s today. 30s up in the mountains, heavy snowfall up in the mountains as well. So that is a snapshot of today. Tomorrow for Easter Sunday, I'm so sorry to tell you that the showers, the chance of that is going to continue. So again, thunderstorms possible. Any thunderstorms that we do see, we could see, of course, thunder, lightning, brief heavy downpours, hail associated with that too. This system finally moves out of here as we head into Monday, and we'll actually feel warmer temperatures by the middle of the week. Temperatures rising into the upper 70s, so nearing 80 degrees, a little slice of summer heading into Wednesday. Back to you.
We know you're tracking it. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching Kcal News this Saturday morning.
We'll be tracking the storm with more updates throughout the morning for you. Stay with Kcal News. And remember, we're always streaming on Kcal News Los Angeles. Be safe.